Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 10th point, season 6, week 9. The graphics are not up to date as usual because, can't be asked to actually make it happen, I guess. We are bringing to you, like every week, our usual. Multiple rounds of powerful magic. Joining me, I am, like every week, the Red Mage, and joining me on the line, we have Lowman.
Hey, what's going on, guys? And Red Mage, thank you for having me, and I look forward to seeing, as we call it, powerful magic.
And Gosmith.
Canadian Highlander here.
I just want to set the world on fire. Hello.
Thank you, Gosmith, for that musical number. We have 12 players today, ready to go. We have I have our pairings just ready to get people started on round 1. I want to remind everybody. Actually, no, it's fine. I just want to remind people that what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna play in 4 rounds of Swiss for in Canadian Highlander, which is a super sweet format. If you don't know much about it, you can type !Canlander in chat. That is gonna lead you to resources that should tell you what more or less what the format is about. It's an incredibly sweet format, very powerful play where you can cast Ancestral Recall, but also sweet cards like, Impulse or Latlam Legacy are or Latlam's Legacy are perfectly can basically coexist side by side to each other. We are brought. We are running basically off of the Highlander Discord. That's what we use to coordinate and run the event from. If you're not in the Canadian Highlander Discord, I recommend that you type !Discord, and that will get you there. And finally, I want to remind you that we are brought to you, among other things, by your kind support every week. So if you have a sub that you feel like throwing our way, we definitely appreciate that. It helps kind of running things and making sure that there's things like a prize pool at the end of the season, which there is gonna be, thanks to people, to the kind people that donated, and it gives me a little bit more resources to work with to work the event. I am going to just post pairings in a second. I'm gonna leave the floor to my commentators to talk a little bit about the tournament while I get the last thing set up.
Awesome. Yeah, so a couple things before even talking about the tournament that I think is probably worth noting, because last time there has been some changes in the format, or since last time there have been changes in the format. There's recent points change with Spellseeker going from 1 point to 2 points, Tainted Pact going from 0 points to 1 point, and a downtick in Flash to 5 points. What that means for the Flash deck, not really that much, because Spellseeker and Flash were kind of connected in that build. But the reasons for those points are due to Oracle-based decks in the format, which we got to see a little bit of last time. I believe it went 2-2 with Necropotence piloting it. Speaking of which, we already kind of gave the bit for the Canadian Highlander Discord, the format, and the tournament. I'd like to take it on myself just to actually quickly advertise the Discord for Pennylander. So one of the bars to entry for specifically Canadian Highlander paper, but possibly even on MTGO, is cost. Kind of a cool format that Necropotence, one of the players that's in today's event, set up a Discord for, is Penny Dreadful Legal Highlander. So ostensibly each deck costs about $1. And honestly, you can get some really good games of Magic, and most of what you can do outside of some of the more degenerate combo stuff you can do in that format as well. So it gives you a viable option to play Highlander, without the commander, if that's your bag, which, if you're watching this, it probably is part of your bag.
All right. I have the pairings that pairings have been posted. So let's.
Great.
I don't know what's happening in chat right now, but pairings have been posted, and yeah, we should be good to go.
There is no chat. There's only chaos.
Let's.
Why don't we check out Evio's first Magic Mike? I think that's going to be a control battle, I would assume.
Yeah. All right.
What is going on in chat? I'm not seeing anything in chat, or is it chat on the actual Discord?
No, the
servers?
Discord chat.
Oh, I never look at it.
Discord chat does not exist. It's a lie.
Yeah, no, it's a lie. I mean, did you hear what the folks were talking about in there beforehand?
There is no such thing as Discord chat.
I think there was something about tulips.
Yeah, and a lot of politics. Oof, guys, politics, bad business.
Dirty job.
No, wait.
Yeah.
Inside job.
So who are we going to be watching first, Red Mage?
Yeah, you said Avios versus
Yeah,
Magic
you
Mike. I think
Avios versus
that's reasonable.
Cool. Okay.
Seems like interesting. Do you know what Magic Mike is on?
I believe he's on Jeskai Control.
I don't know, but looking at their avatar, which is a a red-blue mana symbol, like combined, I would assume probably a red-blue list. I'm just guessing. I've never played Magic Mike, but I'm going to make a very strong guess and assume they're red and blue cards and whatever they're playing, and maybe a third color. But I think it'll be like kind of a blue fight because Evios tends to play a blue deck, right?
Evios is on blue one this week, like always.
Yeah, blue-red. Not a bad place to be in the format. It's okay. It's a decent deck. Obviously, one of the bars to entry for that deck is going to be like how much red deck wins you expect to see. And I mean, WolfgangCloud may not be on actual red deck wins, but they tend to be on an aggressive build of some variety.
He is absolutely on actual red deck wins.
Makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. It's very sensible. I mean, like I've played Wolfgang a few times, not recently, but they're almost always on an aggressive deck, and it almost always has red in it. Sometimes it has artifacts and stuff like that, and I've seen Jeskai aggro, but almost always red based.
Evios on the other hand, which we didn't really mention that much, also fairly well known for playing the same deck quite often, playing Blue Moon.
Yep, blue-red.
A blue-red control deck that uses the power of Blood Moon back to basics, especially to really just deny other control decks their mana, or just in general greedy decks like 4-color decks.
Yeah, like there's a 4-color blood deck that we may get to check out at some point. That's being played today, and that's the sort of deck that if the blood deck doesn't get down early aggression, if they get their first couple spells countered, and the blue moon deck is able to land a moon, they can generally shut them off pretty effectively. By no means is it like certainty that the blue red deck will tend to beat that deck. I think it's probably a pretty good 50-50 matchup. It's an interesting one. But yeah, basically mana denial coupled with a lot of blue counter magic and some cheap 1-for-1 removal in burn.
Yep. And it does allow you really, like, this is one of the key things, like, you really have to understand about this type of format. It isn't a turtle format so much like Legacy and Vintage.
I'm gonna stop you there for a second. Absolutely. We're gonna need to... I keep forgetting to do this. I'm gonna need to restart the stream real quick. We will be back in a total of... I would be shocked if it was 30 seconds. Okay. Yeah, sorry about this. We'll be back soon. Bye.
That it was playable on.
All right, we are back online. I am trying to get the games to work. I'm kind of having to adjust everything on the fly because I don't know, things are not working with the usual setup. So we're gonna have to see how that goes.
Well, hey guys, if hopefully you're trickling back in. Unfortunately, a little bit of a slow start, but we'll get there, and I do promise the magic should be good.
That is a general tendency of this format, I will say. Short of, like, of course, battles, but that's something that's inherent to literally any format. And unless you find a way to change to convince WotC to change the game fundamentally, then that's probably going to be an inherent thing.
Yeah, I mean, I have this saying about Magic, right? Like, my personal, like, okay, we're already in the game. We already started.
Yeah, I mean...
Seems so. Well,
okay.
Partly. We're getting the hand cams set up, it seems.
Yeah, we are getting the hand cams.
Fair enough. So
But we can't see the board state, by the way.
Yeah, if you could
Yeah,
put the game
but
up.
I'm gonna work on the board set in a second.
Lovely.
Again, I am having to do a lot of changes to what
Yeah.
to how we do things usually.
Okay.
So
Do what you gotta do, Red Mage. We'll keep talking about other stuff. So yeah, no, guys, but like one thing I'd say is Magic in general. Like this is an eternal format; it's very decisive, right? So like when something goes wrong, like generally there's a very the flash to bang and like how a thing or an event that's unfavorable is overwhelming for one player is like really fast. So I think we tend to notice it more as players. But personal opinion, is that like honestly, like 33% of games of Magic, like you just can't win if the other person plays optimally. And like in draft and limited, the flash to bang on, like getting 2 for 1 twice is a lot slower, because it happens over several turns as opposed to like this format where like, the threats are either the best in class or the combos kill you outright, all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's one of the things that defines these type of formats from, like, say, Pauper, for example. Like,
yeah, it's just very decisive. It's just like, all right, well, you
yeah,
missed the
like
turn, you're dead,
Like, yeah, sure, you have like more powerful options, but that also means that like a board can swing much more quickly. Like in Pauper, you're not going to see just a board cleared and then you just suddenly have a board state of comboing out usually.
And we see an
Whereas
interesting
in this, you
situation
can just
here,
go
right?
from a dead on board to just literally winning.
Yeah, and we see a very interesting situation here where we have like 2 5 mana cards in a player's hand against what right now is a fairly underwhelming board, but the Monarchy is just going to avalanche like utterly out of control in this matchup, right? Like it's just not something you want to see in a blue mirror.
I'm curious, how did the Monarchy get set up?
My guess would be the blue-white player played a Monarch card, and it was stolen by a Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, but that's an interesting choice for control deck to be on a Monarchy.
yeah,
card.
if I'm on a control deck,
think
usually I
Mana
just
had
do
the
not
Monarchy
want the
land,
Monarchy to be introduced in the game.
No, I don't disagree with either of you. I personally, they may be on Jeskai though. We see it.
It's Mike. I can hear you guys. I've been trying to get a hold of you. I can hear you. Through the cam.
Okay, sorry. I thought I had fixed it.
Well, Magic Mike, you're in the booth, so can you leave the booth, please?
Well, he wasn't before.
Okay, all right.
It's
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was certain I had muted myself. I think I had to restart a bunch of stuff. Your hand went away. But because you're not. Yeah, right. Okay, that checks. Never mind. Are you still here? Okay.
No, Magic Mike's not in the Discord chat in the booth anymore.
Hasn't been in a while.
Okay. Well,
going to game 2 here, which makes sense once the Monarchy gets to one player's side.
Okay.
Especially if they're
No. Okay, if they're going to game 2, I'm gonna need them to. Can you start game 2 in a new match, please? So. So I had to the reason that I'm asking them is that I had to restart Magic Online, and for whatever reason, Magic Online doesn't show you games that have started after you have started looking for games.
Okay.
In the new thing. So I can't actually watch them.
The only downside to that is someone already made mulligan decisions. So I mean,
I know, but
true, but those mulligan decisions aren't gonna like impact the next game. So like.
Not highly, but they do. They do.
You can equally well be in a situation of where you would have gained or lost.
Sure, but in competitive play, I mean, it's an advantage, right? Especially if you mulligan down to 5 or 6, like
you will always be if you're in an EVO slot position, you'll usually be like, yes, I have another chance at a great 7. If you're in Mike's position, you might be like, fuck, I opened a mulligan. That was probably a disadvantage to me.
Yep.
Yeah, but if they don't start a new game, we won't be able to watch them, and I apologize for this. It's just like, for whatever reason, my computer refuses to make things work in the way they usually do, and I'm trying to adapt, but I think it's gonna be a little hectic until I figure everything out.
Alrighty, well, let's get on to game 2, and let's hope we get some good solid magic here. So we basically almost have. I would say the blue-red deck is going to have to assume more of a tempo role, but we'll see. And it looks like the Jeskai deck is more of a mid.
Absolutely, that deck can. Yeah, the Jeskai deck definitely goes later, playing higher CMC planeswalkers.
Yeah, we saw
that makes
Barry in
sense, like,
hand. Yeah.
And there's also the Blood Moon deck that's playing the Young Pyromancers of the world, which is definitely like a card that can just win the game if unanswered.
I think generally speaking, the blue-red moon deck should be relatively favored against the more controlling builds of Jeskai, due to the fact that you do have mana-based denial, and a lot of Jeskai's mana-base will be non-basic depending on how you build it. If they're on a more budget build of Jeskai Control, then like they probably don't have the non-basics. But typically speaking, you have about six basics inside a Jeskai Control deck, like 3 to 4 islands, and one of each for mountain and plains. So that could be fairly backbreaking if they do get an early moon and they can protect it with a Force of Will or something like that. But that said, I mean, it also looked like magikmike was on more of a high basic counter, maybe just splashing into red for some cards, or on a budgetary, or a deck that has budgetary concerns, because you don't often see Mystic Monastery anymore.
No, that's definitely, you're right. That's definitely a curious card to see in like control deck, because these days like the format is considered to be way too fast to.
And you have a better option in a land that you can fetch now. And you have a better option in a land you can fetch now.
We are still seeing like Windswept Feet, Volcanic Isle, so it's not like it's completely budget. Mana Drain, that's also by no means cheap.
Yeah.
So that's actually quite curious.
Yeah, could just be on a high basic count.
We're seeing something interesting here. The fact that we're going to see turn 1 possibly recall here, and it's very hard for Mike to just counter it.
No, they're not going to get to counter it. They're going to do it on their upkeep.
Exactly.
They're not going to have the opportunity to counter it, and this is going to be backbreaking. Ancestral recalls early are often backbreaking in blue mirrors because they're so resource intensive.
Yeah, and it's going to be lying in the yard for it in case Evio's trying to like.
So I find it very interesting they did not do it in the upkeep. They must not have had a stop set. This is certainly a misplay if they're going to go for it EOT, but they're not. They're just going to wait on it. Maybe they didn't want to discard, but I think in that hand you can very easily discard some of the burn, and it's not really going to be detrimental to your game plan if you're discarding 2. But they could just want to wait. Now, if they didn't respond to this fetch, that'd be really tech, but they'd for sure be discarding, right?
That would be sassy.
Now, that fetch was interesting because now they do not have mana drain access anymore.
Yeah.
At least on the COT, and they don't have it during the upkeep either.
I think they hope to plan on possibly playing the Cascade Bluffs or the Volcanic Isles, keep up the Iron Eye, and then if nothing happens, possibly just the response.
Yeah, but I mean, if I was playing it, I definitely would have gone for the Ancestral turn.
No, yeah, absolutely. Like
the burn, because the burn.
Volcanic Sickle is great in this matchup because it kills Tefaris and such.
The only thing we could see happen is awkward. This is going to be rough because now you just cast your recall, and this is pretty rough. That's not what you want.
I just feel like that could well come down like a turn earlier or two. Like on the first turn, end of the first turn, easily.
What do you get rid of with this here? The counter spell?
I'm not sure if this is a card.
I don't see the last card, but
I'm looking at like Archmage Charm because you don't have anything called kills at the moment. And draw. Confluence, Chain Lightning, Flame Slash, like there's so much removal.
There's an argument for Pierce. There's an argument for Pierce,
but you don't currently have anything that's afraid of getting pierced.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think the way the game's gonna go, an Archmage Charm is more likely to counter something of importance than Spell Pierce is.
Yep.
Like you're not under pressure. So you just
the strength of Spell Pierce is really when you're trying to be a proactive. Pierce actually makes some sense to me. And the reason being is they want to try to get equity off this drain. And Pierce is cheap, right? That's why I can see taking that, because if you want to try to, your opponent is going to want to try to resolve a threat and then protect it with Pierce, and you don't have enough mana at this point, in my opinion, to really, double counterspell. You're still a little off. That draw will help, but Condescend is, frankly, a card that probably is getting old. I've started cutting it from like almost every blue.
I imagine if we are seeing. If we're not seeing anything like major coming from Evios here, that's just not because the mage.
They're just gonna throw burn at this card and just say go is what you're likely. Gonna do.
There's a good chance we just see a cycle of the Triumph here, end of turn, Or not?
That's
What
really
drain
aggressive.
things
That is really aggressive.
You're just gonna get the chain lightning now, probably, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know why you
don't
want to
really
protect
get
this card.
anything out of that either. It's not
No.
like you're setting up yourself up to like slam a Teferi or something next.
Yeah, I'm confused by the line.
I'm more
Although I do like
interested
I do like just chain lightning there, like right
Yeah.
on my turn.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like
I guess it
like,
allows you to leave up like the Archmage's Charm if they play a Teferi out, which is reasonable. But
yeah,
you have this
you have
this
sinkhole.
you have sinkhole to deal with it. So it's like, what are they really going to do that's going to blow you out? I mean, maybe a True Name Nemesis, but at that point you're looking at getting your counter spell countered. So this gets cast. It'll probably just get condescended here, be my guess. And they could use it.
Probably that's the worst.
Oh,
I'm
I wouldn't think.
consistently surprised by the choices here.
Yeah, I am as well on both sides.
I can't actually see the argumentation for like not countering that Archmage Charm.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it because I think.
No, I would have preferred getting the constant out of the hand, setting yourself up. You want the card draw.
Yeah, the card draw is really relevant in these kind of matchups, and like you're not. I don't think from looking at this Jeskai deck, it's really set up to be a great tempo deck.
No.
It just kind of looks like a control build, so it's like the incremental damage isn't as relevant as like long-term advantage. So you get rid of the card
like even
draw.
Ionize is like, why is it there? It's like it's basically canceling this.
I also don't agree with slamming a Jace here.
Ionize can't hit Planeswalkers, can it?
No, I believe it counters any spell and just does 2 damage. It's 3 damage.
Oh yeah, but like can't do 2 damage to the Planeswalker, I presume.
I don't know. I don't believe so, but all right. So
I will check.
Yeah, I don't like throwing Jace out there. I'd rather just deal with this click. Yeah. That was not a bad draw.
No, that's definitely a way to get back into this game. Yeah, sure, you're putting pressure on, but like a Snapcaster Mage.
No, I feel like at this point, Evio should be like very heavily in the control, like in the seat, like leading this game. I think some of the lines, I think, give the opponent a little more equity than you probably want to give them.
Electrolyte's great.
Yeah, it's clean answer to the Vendilion Clique.
Yeah. How much can they constant? They can constant send for 4, so you can't.
They can't actually counter this.
For sure,
they
but then
they
you have to play Snapcaster.
Well, they can counter this, but then they're going to get Ancestral Recall in the dirt. I don't agree with tapping out to counter just Electrolyze here. I think they could also Snapcaster Spell Pierce this, which I think is also kind of a weak line. I think I would just probably
like literally any removal spell here. You literally know they have Sinkhole and Confluence.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, Electrolyze is a 2-for-1, but you chose not to counter previous 2-for-1 in the Archmage Charm.
Yeah.
So magikmike is really just saying that I want to be the tempo deck. And
I think they're banking on drawing burn because like they're gonna get him to 6. Because although I don't think I think that this thing should be dead already, but that's me. Well, that's another card out of the bin because that's that polluted delta can actually find Mystic Sanctuary, which is strong if they're running it. But I assume they are. So down to 6. I mean, there's a possibility that they go for a Treasure Cruise here and get a bunch of bolts, but I don't feel like you need to be dead to a bunch of bolts in this game. I don't feel like it had to go that way.
I agree.
Okay, they exile all. Well, that's just a bunch of counter magic.
Yeah. And a Brainstorm.
Yep. Which is not really at its strongest right now. Just no fetch lands around or no shuffle effects, so they're going to go for it, though. Okay.
Try and get rid of the Spire Bluffs, the better lands, perhaps.
Yeah. So look at the cards. Like, even Swords to Plowshares on a threat's kind of like... The way you played this, you played it like the damage really does better.
I think you keep the Spire Bluff now if you haven't played a land return, honestly.
Yeah, you do. You mana advantage is going to be imperative
like,
for these
cards. Souls isn't important right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. Land drops are going to be pretty relevant this game.
Yeah, then take Jace next turn, or even slam it, depending on what it does.
So I do think you go for the Scalding Tarn. I would likely put Electrolyze or another counter spell like Archmage's Charm on top.
I think if you want to get the Sanctuary, I think you want to use the Blue Delta to get that because you might want a third Red Souls.
You could, yeah.
And I think Scalding does.
But I don't think you just play an island. They just played an island here, so it's like, I don't know. Again, like I don't feel like you fight over this, but I guess they want to.
The thing is, you're not even stopping it permanently. Like they can just cast it for 6 if they want to.
They
Or like we're gonna
could.
see.
I
You
mean,
can
maybe
just
you're
counter
trying
it.
to like head games them into Pierce, but they already had Pierce and it got discarded.
Yeah, I think if you counter it, like you might as well go absorb. Like honestly, like,
Yeah.
Just make sure you get it out of the way.
Yeah, keep playing around days. There's the mana killer right there. But
Yeah,
we're gonna see a
that's gonna
Jace.
hurt a lot.
We're gonna see a Jace come down next turn.
I think that's honestly might just yeah. Besides the Jays, that's gonna possibly just.
What's Jace gonna do? Probably uptick to play around burn. Unfortunately, Fiery
Quite
Confluence
possibly
is not
could
for a
also
while.
just down tick it to bounce this Arakasi, but that seems really awkward.
No, that's bad.
That's bad.
That's
Yeah,
really-
they get back the sinkhole.
Mystic Confluence. Yeah, that's no bueno. Plus, I mean, you don't know what they have in hand. I mean, I think you uptick. Oh, they're gonna okay.
Okay, Direfleet could get back Mystic Confluence or Electrolyze.
Good. It just exile
not
it right
bad.
now though. They're probably just gonna take the Swords to Plowshares in the land. My guess would be keep up Counterspell plus Swords. That way they can protect their Jace, and they can have up Counterspell.
Yeah.
And actually, it may end up being just fine. It may just get there. I mean, if their OP draws a Counterspell, the game probably ends. Which is why I was a big proponent of finding the Mystic Sanctuary last turn with one of those 2 lands just to get a Counterspell, get access to a Counterspell. But all right, so that's sleight of hand.
Just go digging. Just immediately.
Yeah.
No reason to wait.
Well, what you can do here is just play out your Polluted Delta, fetch with it.
Yeah, get the back the Electrolyze.
And then protect this Blood Moon, and knock out basically 90% of their mana base.
Oh, you want to get the Mystic Confluence back then? Yeah.
Yeah,
you have enough of that.
Well, you have it's Electrolyze.
Yeah, exactly.
They kept Electrolyze. It's an odd one to keep. I would have kept the cheap Counterspell personally, but I mean, at this point, they can do all of it. I mean, they can Mystic Confluence this.
Getting back the Sinkhole to just kill the Jace.
Just kill the Jace. All right, that's reasonable.
Yeah, that's better. Like Jace is the card that can get away with this game right now.
Yeah, I feel like without their mana though, their deck just shuts down and fails to work.
Oh yeah, I think honestly the Sinkhole is a bait currently for the Blood Moon. I think that's the plan instead. I think that's the line of thought at least going through the head. But in that case, you might as well just get a Counterspell.
I would not tap one of those lands. I think you want to play around.
Unless you're really scared of Counterflux.
Yeah, it could be. Could be afraid of Counterflux. All right, that gets absorbed. And then you land this, and you're looking for a threat at this point.
Yeah, something that can just deal with this. Or at very least, something like deal with Jace again. Possibly like a way of getting it.
I mean, at this point, Jace can just start uptaking, and it's going to be very difficult to kill for a red-based removal deck, right?
Absolutely.
So I think they're honestly kind of winning, but I don't. All right, they're going to do this.
Well, this is also how they got the Monarchy last time.
Yeah, there's the Palace Jailer. Not an unreasonable card to play. I just don't feel like the deck's best supports it.
Direfleet, you could keep it to like just.
You can actually. I don't. If you're gonna use the Jace here, you knew the Direfleet was on top. So if you're gonna use the Jace here like this, as opposed to upticking it to keep it out of burn rage, I think what I like doing is actually just tapping out main phase, playing out.
Yeah, playing Direfleet, get their
steal their draw 3. Yeah, steal their draw 3, and then just draw 3.
I like that.
I like if I'm gonna do that, but I think I'd possibly look to uptick, especially after trying a counterspell. I feel like uptick is very strong there.
And I think you know you're gonna get Direfleet next turn. Like, why not just wait a turn?
Yeah, I uptick and then just
not like this though.
Yeah, I think you're playing scared at this point. Now you have to counter a lightning bolt basically, which is not like really where you want to be, in my opinion. Like having to counter chain lightnings and lightning bolts feels pretty bad. Well, I guess it's chain lightning. You get to throw it back.
Let's see, what do we have on top? We have
draw many. All right. Well, Brainstorm's a lot worse when your fetch lands are turned off, for sure.
Sure is.
All right. Well, at a minimum, that Spell Snare can counter this Direfleet Daredevil and essentially turn off any spell.
Yeah, likely just cycle the Swazzering Suns. Just take something.
My guess is their OP, I think, needs to be pressing this issue. Like, I really like.
Oh, I thought they had. Oh, wait.
They're drawing again.
Did they not play a land? Oh, had they already played a land? I guess I missed that. That's pretty why.
Yeah.
You have no really interest in Scalding Time right now? That does nothing. Just throw it away.
Actually, this game's very close to over. It may actually be over. Yeah. So they have a boatload of red man. They actually want to keep that. They want to keep that land and get rid of probably.
Yeah, we have
I guess
7 points of burn currently.
Yeah. Well, you got it's 5 in hand plus their other 2 in graveyard with electrolyze. But like,
so let's see like a spell snare on at least one of them. Yeah, they do see they have a lot of burn. Which, considering how they've been playing, they've probably been looking for that in a way. That's pretty why they've been brainstorming and such.
I'm gonna admit, I feel like this game was very winnable by the blue-red deck. Yeah. I'm gonna throw it out there.
I do believe Direfleet does allow you to pay any mana. Yeah, so.
Oh, well, you have to pay mana for
it. Why we didn't see here. Direfleet and the Mystic Confluence still.
They're gonna draw. Okay. I think I just 2 them. You know, and draw a card.
You were 1 mana off still keeping the counter spell up, even if you did do that. I really don't get it.
Yeah, I think this is fine. I mean, yeah. This is forcing their opponent to interact with the board, and they still have the Jace. And you just burn down to 3. Okay.
So what do you kill the Direfleet with here? Probably just the Braid? Don't expect to really use that as it's the cheapest option.
Yeah, Braid seems reasonable. I mean, you
might also use the Fire Confluence, but that's just you might as well save that for like I don't know, deal 6 and then the game.
I probably cycle that bad card in my hand first.
Like sometimes
probably swipe up
card.
Yeah, I probably cycle it right beforehand just to see what my options are. I mean, if I draw like an Inferno Titan, maybe I want to cast it right here and kill that Jace off. Which
for example.
Or
like even Mad Captain, so literally anything that's worth playing.
Yeah, anything that's castable, like a big dumb thing that you have to play at instant speed. There's a threat.
Like
there's a reason to there's a reason to have not used the Abrade there.
But secondly, like you were really expecting to die there.
Yeah.
Now you have the problem if they have like double burn spell. I guess you're dead to double burn spell either way.
Yeah, I would. As far as double burn, I mean, you're just dead. I mean, you're dead to the board. You got to deal with it somehow.
Nibble Destruction might get cycled here. No, I'm not gonna cycle it.
No.
I guess it's not really
They're gonna
worth
kill
it.
him with it. They're gonna kill him with it. Yeah.
Yeah. This is gonna be a game.
To be clear, magikmike is up a game right now, right?
No, unless we were down for a while, bud. But we watched Evios win a game. So
sorry, yeah, that's what I meant. Evios is up a game. That's yeah. Just wanted to make sure that the score that they have on display is correct.
All right.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna have a game 3. Exciting.
Yeah. What a weird game.
I'm still not a big fan of like this whole like just playing the beat down plan we've seen.
I'm just gonna be frank, and it's not to knock anyone. Evio should have won that game if they played it correctly. And I think I agree with you. The beatdown plan, the deck does not seem to be built for it. Did it work out? Yeah, it did. And I mean, it sounds mean of me to say it, but I just that it's really hard for me to comment on the games. I don't understand a lot of the plays that were made throughout it.
No, I agree. Like,
blue, you know?
I was a bit lost.
I'm just like, why are we doing this? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. We're seeing a fairly solid hand from both players here. Just some counters. A bit slow on either side instead of on one. But
well, they're both slower decks, right? They're both slower decks.
Yeah, both. Absolutely. Like, we can see what. Oh no, I think it's pretty just gonna be. You're just gonna play a fetch here. You just drew basic. That's what you want to be playing here.
Agreed, because you want to save your fetches for like your
brainstorms and such.
Yeah, your brainstorms, your Jaces, whatnot.
I mean, I suppose you have.
Plus, you also may want to get red. You may want to get red with it. You may want to get red with it as well. That's an option.
Yeah, I suppose if you really want to play around like.
Generally, like blue moon builds are more biased blue than they are red. So I mean, it's not very often that you're using that land to find a mountain, but sometimes you do. Especially if you're playing like a card like Nib Mizzet. That's a card some folks play.
I believe we have seen Evios play that before, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and it's a good card. I oftentimes won't run it because I am a lot more blue biased. And I don't really like the casting cost of it, and it's really like only great against other blue decks. If I wanted to run like a card that's like also good versus blue decks, but like in my opinion does a better job of like controlling the board, I just play the big Chandra. But I'm kind of off generally just playing big 6 drops in these style of decks. I feel like
also significantly hard to deal with, to be honest.
It is. It's harder to deal with for a blue deck. I mean, they can bounce it and whatnot. The Niv is probably better against a blue deck because even bouncing it, or killing it, like generally nets you cards. But the Chandra itself is just good at coming back from behind, sweeping a board.
Like against a mid-range deck, slamming it, killing a creature, or like sweeping most of the board.
Generally, you just kill everything on the board. I mean, it's a lot of damage. I mean, some mid-range decks can ignore it, but the mid-range decks are not problematic for Blue Moon. Like, Blue Moon tends to thrive against mid-range decks, including even the lands variants, because, I mean, you have a lot of non-basic.
I do quite like... I'm a bit surprised about... I think it's still a good play, but I'm a bit surprised about the quick use of the Feeler Rune here. Like, I don't think you should be planning on just stopping your opponent's mana, unless you know for sure that it's going to be important. Like, you know that you have a bunch of red cards in the hand. And we are going to end up seeing punish from that because of this Celestial Colony at some point.
Yeah, especially when you have double counterspell, which is the other part of the argument. Like, when you have double counterspell, you might as well just leave it up, like, at this point.
But, like, at least do the end of their turn, if anything.
I mean, now you actually have access to a useful play on their EOT, if you want to.
Yeah, Castles is a very good card.
With Vantress. Yeah, it is. It's a high-quality card, especially in this style of matchup where there's not a lot of pressure on either side. Flash threats are obviously problematic. You can definitely get, beat up pretty badly on an EOT if you get hit by a flash threat like a Snapcaster or a Restoration Angel, both of which we've seen. Vendilion Cleek, Nimble Obstructionist, these are all cards we've seen in this matchup so far. So, I think you still go for it. You have Burn that kills most of those threats with the exception of the Resto Angel. I think I'd go for it here as well.
There's one card we've seen now twice that I'd actually like to ask you about. Direfleet Daredevil. What's your fun of that card?
Yeah, I'm currently not playing it, but I'll play it on again, off again. The reason that you play Direfleet Daredevil is it has significant equity against a bad matchup, which is red deck wins. When you get to like 3 or 4 mana, getting a 1 or 2 mana spell out of the bin and using it to favorably interact with the board while leaving behind a 2/1 first striker is not bad versus red deck wins. Is it game changing? No, but it's favorable. It's also quite good against the Loam decks, which admittedly you're already quite good against because you have access to cards that turn off non-basic lands. But that's the reason you play it. It's just a reasonable body that does give you 2-for-1 advantage against specific matchups. But like I said, I'm on and off.
Even against blue decks, you just cast a Preordain as worst.
Exactly. And then that's the other part of it is like when you're playing mirror matches, it's very good because you get someone's Ancestral or whatever. Like everyone talks about the Ancestral, like you get with Direfleet Daredevil, but like for me, it's more about talking the median case, which is like generally speaking, like my deck is really bad against red deck wins. Like this card helps shore that a bit. Give me some equity in that matchup. Give me a chippy 2-for-1 out of one card. Yeah, and it also has some upside, like I said, against like the land style decks. Yeah, this thing's getting after it.
Look, once you scry enough times, you're basically 2 to that point.
Yeah, they just want mana, which makes good sense.
Exactly.
Like when you're scrying, plans, yeah.
The only threat your opponent has is like Celestial Colony, and
what is that red card in their hand?
Still.
What's that red card in the middle of their hand?
That is a Blitz of the Thunder Raptor.
Yes.
What is
that
card
do? Deal X damage, where X is the amount of instants sorcerers in grave, also exiles the target, and it hits creatures and planeswalkers.
So it doesn't hit players. Okay.
I think this card is real bad, but a lot of people have had.
Yeah, I'd run Harvest Pyre probably before that, but.
Well, the notable thing, I think the reason why people like it is the ability to hit planeswalkers.
Sure. Yeah. It's that can have problems against planeswalkers. It's for sure.
Like, Spyro Mogis is a card that we have had before, and that card even scries one. It doesn't hit planeswalkers, but
yeah.
That's
why I stopped playing 6. I just stopped playing 6 drops and started playing flash threats at 3. Especially because one of them like just bounces a planeswalker and allows me to counter it on the backswing and still leaves me with a free card that's a 3/1.
We're gonna see a counter spell, maybe a war. I'm not sure we'll be using counterflux quite yet.
Honestly, like I think a better line of play for. Oh, this is Evios's end step.
Yeah, it seems so.
Why would you do that? Because if you did it on your, so if you did that. Okay, it was Evios's end step. The thing I kind of like doing is actually casting that thing when my opponent taps down for their Castle Vantress. Oddly enough, like I would go for here. They're not going to use their castle because they want to counter that Factor Fiction, I think.
Okay, so we're actually seeing something quite interesting from Magikmike's deck here. He's a Mance Rider.
No, their deck has a lot of different sub themes and themes going on, right? Like there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, they are playing maybe a bit more tempo deck than we expected to.
Yeah,
Well,
but
again,
like
their experience, but
I don't think it comes together to the I mean, like when you're playing Factor Fiction, like oftentimes like you're not playing like 1 drop and 2 drop, 3 drop, right? I mean you're playing Factor Fiction because like you're a deck that needs to win through inevitability as opposed to like having a large source of incremental damage. And there's kind of like an odd mix of like both types of cards, like more so like controlling like 3 mana counter spells, and then like Manus Rider, which generally speaking, like that's a deck that wants 2 mana counter spells. Generally wants to play Manus Rider, because you can like wait till you get to 5 and then like protect it, or you can like counter their spell on their turn after playing it, whatever. Um, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
This is something I might be surprised if that I'd expect a kind of war over though.
They're allowing this to resolve.
Well, the Spellseeker itself, interestingly, I expected actually the Spellseeker to get.
Yeah, I would counter it.
I'm really surprised to still see a Spellseeker in a Blue Moon list, because I think that with the update to the point, it had this become kind of unplayable.
Yeah, I've never played it. I don't like it in that list. I like Merchant Scroll personally because I think the deck's slow enough that.
I think that like when you're looking at Blue Moon points, like your list should always include Ancestral and Dig, and then you put in 2 between Spellseeker. Like up until the Spellseeker increase, you would put in 2 cards between Treasure Cruise, Mana Drain, Spellseeker, and Dig through time, and like. Probably there was a correct solution based on your deck, but you were never like too far off. But with Spellseeker at 2 points, I think it's just incorrect to play it now. Like the hand isn't enough, but even if the hand was better than Merchant Scroll, it's not enough better to just play it to the point.
I don't think it is actually in this deck. I think it's actually worse. And the reason being, I've never thought it was right. And this is the reason why. If you're playing Recall, which I think we both agree is like probably optimal for like a blue-red deck that's playing Blue-Red Moon, for this style of like the control build of it. The reason Spellseeker, in my opinion, was never right is because it does not get Dig Through Time, which we were saying is one of the points you could play. It does not get Force of Will, which is very relevant in some matchups, far more so than Ancestral Recall. Or Force Negation is another one you could get with it. I do think Spellseeker holistically is a far more powerful card, but I think for that deck,
I'm just going to interrupt you because we are seeing Evios go for the Ancestral here because he a bit of a.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at this point. So even if he so here's the thing, right? Like if he loses this battle, so for the crowd at home, if you lose this fight over Ancestral, it doesn't matter because there is a blue fetch on board. So we get Mystic Sanctuary, get it back, and basically burn through multiple cards in their hand. And I think they actually win this counter war regardless.
Yeah.
Plus there is a Snapcaster in their hand also.
Yeah. You go for the Mystic Sanctuary first, right?
Like this just shows like just how powerful Mystic Sanctuary is as a Magic card.
Yeah, I think what really this ties back to, if you want to like look at decision making in Canadian Highlander, like the Spellseeker was the right card to fight over here because once Blue Moon has access to Ancestral Recall via the bin, and you aren't a deck that can attack in the bin, they have a lot of ways to get it back. So like even if you plan on countering it the first time, they're gonna have access to it multiple times after that, and they're built.
Yeah, and even though like they'll still get a free 1/1, why give them a free 1/1?
Sure. I mean, like the argument is like they're not going to draw it at that point. They already have it, I guess. But like it's like this 1/1 just tutors. But like that's kind of like if that thing finds Life from the Loam, like you wanted to counter the Spellseeker because Life from the Loam is a card that's unless you have Force Negation, you're not going to win against, right? But in this case, it's kind of a similar argument. It's like once they have access to it, like they're just going, they fetched,
and they're playing this
and they all right.
Yeah, I think they missed a line of play where they can just Snapcaster the Ancestral if they really wanted to do that instead.
Yeah, I'd rather save the Snapcaster.
Like,
I'd like to allow them to win the counter
save
spell.
your to command this way and your Ancestral.
I would just let them win the counter spell fight personally because it's going into your turn, right? This is on their turn.
Are they remanding their own Ancestral? They are.
Could be. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Why didn't you do that before? No, I guess the Snapcaster is better than.
And the command will still get to counter the neutralize, so it will still get to draw a card. Yeah, okay.
Well, what's kind of funny here is by remanding this, you also safeguard it from Direfleet Daredevil. But you could have done that with the land as well. Just gotten rid of it in response. So they get to see Direfleet Daredevil is in hand, indeed. So they're probably not going to get got by it.
Faz's Intervention, I quite like the card, but I think this format just proves that it is too slow.
I'm sorry, what card is that?
The Faz's Intervention in Evios.
Yeah, I don't care for it. It's just too much mana.
Like it's lovely in other formats, but this is just a place where like you're paying too much for too little.
It's too much. Yeah, it's a revolutionary rebuff for 3 mana, right? When it starts getting bigger than that, it gets good. But
yeah, what is
you
the two in blue from like
Wait
Amonkhet block that allows
wait a
you to do similar
second.
things?
So Red Mage, I actually don't mind this line of play. Like, I actually like this line of play by them
No,
because they're
Yeah.
in a place.
I think Evios might be over points.
Oh,
I'm looking at the deck list. The points that the points that are in the description still have Spellseeker at once. Yeah, they're playing Ancestral Behold, Misty Hold, Tutor Spellseeker.
yeah.
Are the point? Is the point change technically already in effect? We didn't have.
I don't know when it's supposed to be in effect. I would check on the Discord. I mean,
check that out real quick.
Announcement recently came out. That's kind of one of the downsides of the format too. Is like we really need to get. We probably should do is like not allow late entries, just due to the fact that like
yeah, there's been like it has upside and downsides. The main upside is that there are people that legit don't know if they're gonna like they know that will know the day of. So like people like we've had a lot of people complain, and I understand why. For example, for somebody like Arakasi, right? That's like he wakes up specifically for the event. He doesn't want to sign up and be like, "Oh, I overslept this week." And then I'm gonna get a bunch of points. Like that makes sense.
Well, I mean, what you could do too is get rid of the negative points assessed for not being able to make it if they don't announce it. You know,
that's true.
It's fair too, right? That's fair.
Technically, the points change will be in effect starting tomorrow. So I don't know.
Okay.
I mean,
my guess is for like a relatively unprized event, FEOS is not trying to cheat anyone.
No. I think that this is just a misunderstanding.
Yeah, to be my guess.
But also technically,
I thought they already went into effect. Not even kidding. So
fair, yeah. Online, normally everyone just plays by them once they're out. So
yeah. So for those at home, normally points changes go in effect on Mondays, because that's when there are big.
No, I'm actually a bit surprised here that we're not just seeing a Direfleet Daredevil come down immediately.
Yeah, try to burn them out. You think?
No, I'm actually thinking Direfleet Daredevil either get their Ancestral and just take.
Why not?
Or Direfleet Daredevil and get Sweltering Suns.
Yeah, well, they probably want to kill that thing, right? So they got that thing out of the way.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying Direfleet Devil get Sweltering Suns, clear the board if you want to do that.
I think right now they're trying to focus on the fact they have 8 life. Although their OP can do a lot of damage next turn as well, right? Because the Teferi's already dead. To that one weird card.
Fiery Confidence does a lot of damage.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but you do have to be mindful. You know, there's a Direfleet Daredevil, so that's a lot of damage back to you as well.
Yeah,
right?
like you probably only play that once. You're like, okay, counterspell, they die. Yeah, Chandra's pretty good.
Yeah, you definitely kill off the 5 fairy first with that silly card that I didn't know.
You might just actually, yeah, you definitely kill the fairy, and probably you possibly also just is a Charm the Snapcaster Mage.
Sure.
So this is the last match going on in this round. Just
that makes sense too. This is a control battle. Yeah, it's a control battle
with some technical difficulty as well. So
yeah, true story. All right, they're gonna use this card on it. Okay.
Like we also just saw Teferi come down and just draw a card.
Yep.
Like the odds having 2 lands just didn't matter. So and Evios is realizing that this is a situation where they just have to kill the fairy. Like going, sure they have fire.
I thought that card that one red card in their hand. I thought you said did damage to planeswalkers.
It does.
No, Fiery Confidence does not.
No.
But I agree that it should just hit fairy.
Yeah, the weird card.
I agree, and I'm pretty sure it is like 9 or some shit.
Yeah, I had a mistake.
Do they not have an offense as a sorcery? No, they absolutely do.
Or they're just worried.
Currently.
Maybe it is they're just worried about like this land, and they want to kill this land.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. I can get behind that.
Yeah, I guess I'm a more aggressive player. I would try to set up.
This does allow you. Well, I guess know what this allows you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Notably, like even with Teferi plusing here, the creatures on board do allow them to kill off the Teferi next turn, assuming like no removal, of course. But
yeah,
they have counters. They have answers to some things.
I mean, they can just charm this thing off the board.
I'm curious, what are they trying to clique here?
I would assume they click
They're
themselves.
trying to clique Evius here.
Oh, okay. I would have clicked myself because I don't like that hand that much. But it's not bad, but it's not great either.
You're definitely one dire fleet. Like that's great right now. Like path, not that interesting. Like and
Getting rid of that's interesting. I guess they're afraid it can race him, and it's close to racing him.
ooh, Mystic Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Not
gonna
a bad one.
punish.
It can allow Chandra to put a good card on top, or it can allow Chandra to cast a card next turn.
Yeah, exactly.
That thing dies.
Sanctuary, get it. That seems pretty good.
They killed their own thing to get a land out of it, to get a white man out of it, which makes sense actually. It's the possibility of Blood Moon is a thing. They get to untap. They still have
Yeah,
creature
we
play.
literally had Magus. They probably have tapped it over frame, maybe. Like I don't think I'd play that hard around it at this point. Personally.
No, you just kill their threats. They're gonna untap 2 lands here, and then they have access to a 3/1. But more than likely, they can. Well, we'll see. I mean, honestly, depends on how their OP draws here. Actually, they can draw a card that just deals directly with Teferi if they want to.
Yeah, and put a Blitz of the
But
Thunder.
like you have the
after
choice
if
here.
you
Like, do you want to trade your Obstructionist for one of their 2? That's
That's
that
gonna be-
custom mage.
This card's gonna be pretty
Very
big,
alive.
and actually, it allows you a free draw
Yeah.
into the
Yeah, I think
into
I
whatever
don't
card
know
you
what's
like.
exiled right now, but I think that's like at least a. Oh, you see the hand is actually a 12/4.
It's 1-hit lethal, is what it probably is.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
For all practical purposes, it
Not
is one
quite,
hit.
but it's basically.
Yeah. Now you can even play Crackling Drake, get back the get it back in hand, which is arguably better than Chandra here. So you can time it if you want to.
Yeah, in this situation, I think it's better than Chandra, but I think generally speaking, Chandra in this matchup is going to allow you to grind your opponent out pretty well, or force them to play to the board more.
No, I
They'd
meant
probably
this is
be
a way of
to.
getting your ancestral back, which
Sure.
is not in graveyard anymore. For a good reason.
Do you even want to put it in the graveyard, knowing that they have Direfleet Daredevil in hand?
No, I mean you have the obstructionist to counter that if you really need to.
Sure.
As long as you're keeping Freeman up for that.
I don't think you need to draw there, to be honest. I don't think you need to draw yet. I think you can leave it in hand and be fine with it. I don't think you even need to. I don't think you need to put yourself in a spot where like you have a force play.
I would quite like to just +2 gain 2 mana of Chandra to make my Kraken Blade cheaper to play.
Yeah.
Keep up more counter spells, keep more interaction because you're lethal on board.
That's kind of what I'm saying. I'm like, you don't really need to take certain like this action right here is like kind of fun to do because you draw a lot of cards, but I don't really think it like significantly changes anything.
Well,
right?
it did.
But you draw a lot of cards.
Well,
True,
it's fun.
Cards, but like
you're just putting yourself at risk to like get mised by like multiple burn spells off of this Direfleet Daredevil and not be able to counter it, right?
The Ancestral is not in the
I
graveyard
said,
anymore, so.
I do think it's likely that Evios just wins the game here still.
Oh yeah, but like you should not put yourself in a spot when you're utterly winning a game. Never put yourself in a spot where you can lose. You know, like you should play as. Yeah, what's that?
No, the one upset of that line is that now the Ancestral isn't in the graveyard anymore because it got exiled by mission briefing. So now it can't be that.
Yeah, the way I look at it though is like force them to have it. Like you give them pretty much free reign with this Direfleet Daredevil right now, and like I
agree.
Yeah, I don't get taking that
they
risk.
Can get like throwing sons if they want to. They can get removal for your Crackling Drake.
Yeah, they can get a lot of things. Or something.
If they want to get really cute, they get mission briefing and then get that.
Yeah, I mean what they can do is they can blitz, they can kill that Drake and then attack the Chandra to lethal, right? And then still have a counter spell up.
Agreed.
Which goes from like can't lose the game to like rough spot, right? Not rough, but like not as good as it could be.
Well, it's definitely worse.
Winning the game's better than like stalling it out again after your opponent ancestral twice, but it puts it to top decks, which me personally I'm not a fan of. I think you just yeah, I guess I'm a coward.
I wouldn't think kill Chandra, but I wouldn't at this point be surprised to see it go face. Just historically speaking.
Yeah, it's fair, but I don't.
Put your opponent
I don't feel like
that's at 3. Sorry.
No, you should knock that Chandra. That Chandra's free card every turn. Like, and you could
How
expect
would it be a free.
Your
You can't attack with Direfleet here. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They'd be at 5, but like I think you still knock out Chandra because if your opponent didn't counter your spell there,
if you could attack with both, that would have been an argument to go just set them as free. But I think since you have free damage, you just kill Chandra here.
Yeah. Get him off the card engine. All right. They said nope.
What can I
not doing
say except
I don't know. I don't know.
called it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I see them doing it because that's how they made decisions previously, but I don't think it's right. I can only tell you what I think's right.
No, I don't like it either.
I can only tell you what I think is
just
right. I'm not saying
gave
it's
you
right.
a-
I can definitely not know what I'm talking about, but
Please
Yeah.
do any of us.
yeah. All right, so we lost hand cams there, Red Mage. This is going to be a glory bringer.
I think it's just EViews who's like highlighting who's looking at this Discord instead.
No,
The way they
it was entirely on me. I received a message, somebody
Oh,
messaged
fair
me on Discord, so I was checking.
So, but huh. I don't understand this play either. Huh.
Are we playing
Okay.
Or?
Yeah, I mean, I would just go for the glory bringer first, and then the Jace.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like they're, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they have to counter the Blood Moon because right now the disallow does nothing, right? It's a brick on this turn at least.
Yeah, you're just gonna go up on a full levity here.
Yeah.
We gotta like, the Chandra hasn't been played activated actually, so they can cast the Glorybringer still. I think I like playing Glorybringer here more than I like playing Jace at all.
Oh yes, for sure. At this point.
Yeah, you probably just play.
I just don't like Blood Moon as the bait spell. I just don't like Blood Moon as the bait.
Yeah, I like playing Glorybringer, just swinging in here, killing off the
Sure
on-board creature. Probably chump blocking the Direfleet next turn to be honest, and then just holding Obstructionist.
Another viable line is just blowing up the Ground Pounder and playing on a blocker for the bird. That way you deal with both their threats cleanly. They're on 0 cards. You have a card engine. You have board presence. They have nothing on board.
Yeah. Sadly, you're 1 mana off playing Jace, Aberrate, and Nimble Obstructionist.
Yeah. You couldn't just do all that. And you don't want to really bounce either of these cards. So, I mean, like, I can get behind just trading off Nimble Obstructionist is here.
Obstructionist isn't too bad to bounce.
What's that? Obstructionist is not?
It's not yeah.
Well, yeah, it just get played.
Especially if you're Obstructionist, they're Obstructionist.
Yeah, you could do that. I see at this point they're just going to trade it off. I mean, if their OP draws like Burn, then it'll die, and they'll take 3 down to 2.
Yeah, I think I imagine we're going to see a Jace here come down because I don't honestly really want to keep. Are they going to cast it during
main phase? Yeah, I mean, I don't actually.
Around well, yeah.
No, that's I was going to say I don't mind this play because if their OP draws Burn, it's going to die anyways. And if their OP draws a counter spell, they're going to counter it down. So either way, it deals with it. They're going to target them.
Lightning.
Okay. I mean, the thing is, you make the attack. Oh, they're chain lightning that. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking it was going face as well. It's like, why?
Yeah, I mean, I was like,
damage either way.
Well, if you were going to go face, you attack first, which I actually don't.
What are you playing around? A dive down?
Yeah, I don't think there's dive down in Blue Moon, but they could do it. Are they dead this turn?
Oh, Mad Cat Experiments. Oh, that's big.
It is. Are they dead this turn? Is my question. They're gonna play Jace for some reason, so they can put them down to a 9. They have 3 on board.
How would they be dead? What do you mean? Like
I'm doing the math. So there's
5,
3 plus 2 is 5. Well, yeah, I think they're too short. That's what I'm saying. I think there actually was like an incredible argument to consider.
No, actually, they could Jace, bounce their Snapcaster, get back to Bolt.
There you go. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So there was lethal this turn. That's what I was saying. I think the math was close enough that it was worth doing. So
yeah, the glory getting broad is always.
Yeah, this is gonna kill.
Yeah,
but also now that life total can change, so.
Well, but you still glory bringer to kill that thing just in case your threat dies to like a Swords to Plowshares or Path to Exile. So then you don't just rando die to the 3/1 flyer.
Yeah. There was definitely a missed lethal there, but it was definitely not obvious.
No, it was when they had to do. But as soon as I saw like their cards, I was like, all right, we got to count because I think it's like 2
I've played Mono Red once or twice.
yeah. Well, on Blue Moon, it's easy to forget that like, hey, sometimes like your burn like is just a sword edge. It's not just to keep.
Yeah, exactly. Like you see Lightning Bolt and you see deal 3 damage to a creature or Planeswalker. Yeah, that seems good.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, on to round 2. I think that one we're closed off on.
That was the last. That was the last round. While we get ready for round 2, I have like a couple of. I have a couple of things to punch in. I was told that Loading and Arakasi had the greatest match of all time in one of the back tables, so I was hoping, I was wondering if maybe they had something like they wanted to relay to us exactly what happened while we were busy watching some blue-red on blue-red action. And neither of them are here.
No, evidently not.
I'm also here.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, so it's The Rock versus Blue-Black Control? Tempo is cool. All right, early game. I get thought seized. Arakasi takes a ramp spell from my hand. All I've got is like 5-6 drop planeswalkers. So I'll tell it from my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
This goes on for a while, where it's just sort of little back and forth stuff. Was this the match wherever I wrathed you?
Yeah.
With punishment?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So Arakasi starts getting a board state, really starts building up. He plays a Liliana of the Last Hope. This is Abrupt Decayed. So that's gone. That's out of the picture. All right. Follow that up. He plays a couple of creatures, but I got a thing in my hand that he didn't read, but he saw it because he saw my hand, but he didn't read it, and it's punishment. Punishment is green-black X. Destroy all things with CMC X. Does not hit planeswalkers. Anyway, so I wrath this board for 3 mana.
Well, I mean, it was 2 creatures, so like I knew intuitively what it did. I didn't read the card, but I knew intuitively that it could get me. But I wasn't too worried because I had a bunch of other stuff. And if you
did have a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
Do you remember what happened next?
There was a lot of turns like trading off, like I'm like hitting you for 2 damage with like a Fairy Conclave and stuff like this.
Yes.
And like drawing cards off cantrips, but yeah. But the point was the game got to some point where you managed to resolve your big planeswalkers.
Yes. I got 2. Cool planeswalker. Vraska. Pirate Vraska. I don't remember her name. I'm not a great storyteller. And so she's down on the battlefield. Arakasi has a Gurmag Angler. Arakasi no longer has a Gurmag Angler. I think it was the next turn you played True Name Nemesis.
Well, I think at that end step I hit Dig Through Time, didn't I?
Yes.
And I used that to get the TNN, I think.
This might be a little bit too exhaustive of a description for what I had in mind.
So to verify, basically the Rock ground out Blue-Black Control. Because I feel like Arakasi lost this one. No, okay.
No, there was a twist.
Okay.
All right, so Thief of Sandy gets played.
Oh.
Thief of Sandy takes my Sensei's Divining Top.
Oh, no.
Passes back to me.
Uh-huh.
I play, this is one of the most wild plays I've ever seen. Biggest next level. I play Corsair Prefix. With that on the stack, Arakasi activates Sensei's Divining Top, putting it on top of my library.
Mm-hmm. So you can never use your Corsair. Yeah.
Corsair only sees one thing. I get my whole team up, pump them all, get Arakasi down to 1, and then get True Name Nemesis.
Well, yeah, I activate a Fairy Conclave and I get him for exact, and I was on 1.
Yeah.
I just did some really tight math, and like I knocked down his Vraska enough so it couldn't kill my like Deeper Sanity on the last turn. Like it was just really, really tight magic.
Nice.
All right. That sounds exciting. We have round 2 up, so thank you for this. Thank you for this recollection of what happened in one of the back tables. I'm considering doing this a little bit more often, getting a little bit more results from the back table when there is nice games going on. I'll consider it. We have Luhas versus Darrel. I think it should be our match because it's 2 people that we haven't watched yet, and plus Luhas is on some amount of spice. Darrel has an interesting a deck that we have been on wanting to monitor too. So I think that's probably a good one.
So are they on Madness or are they on their pod deck?
No, they are.
Or just
Yeah, okay.
Oh, we've seen it on other things now.
They
at this
are
point.
on
We've seen it on
Mardu
Black Green
Souls.
Raggo playing fucking Simmons Spirit Guide.
They're on
on
Mardu
Mardu.
Soul Sisters.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, like Lucas has actually been quite recently brewing a lot.
You know, Lucas has always been a brewer. Like their decks
Yeah,
are
but like
always...
especially recently, like they also have like the bug in the deck we've seen a couple times as well.
Yep. No, actually, I just recently played against them in Pennylander with a Madness deck.
Yeah, like I've said, like the only one I've actually seen make Madness work is Lucas, TBH.
Yeah, no, and
It's
their
not
deck was
actually
fine.
quite
It
hard.
worked really well. I mean, it just didn't beat the Rock, but I mean, the Rock was really good in that format. So
Sure is.
yeah,
Apparently, recurring nightmare's really cheap. Who knew?
yeah, it wasn't even that card. It was like the other. It was like the control cards that actually won. It was like Gaze of Granite and like Death Cloud shenanigans.
Oh.
Good magic there.
So we know we have a what did we say we had?
Mardu, I've never seen Darrel play.
Lucas was on.
Yeah.
With the Soul Sisters deck. Do we know what Darrel's on?
Darrel is on 4-color pod, I think.
Oh, so we do have podless actually.
They're on a Soul Ring deck, that's for sure. That's a Soul
Oh, it's
Ring.
actually looking a bit like it's also kind of an aristocratic deck. For Lucas.
Yeah, it looks like it's probably like a
Oh,
bug.
is that Soul
deck.
Ring?
Yeah, it's Soul
An
Ring.
agent of trickery?
It is. My
That's
guess would be
very
it's like a
curious.
bug Rexer deck. It looks like a bug
Yeah,
Rexer.
like a
Yeah.
Rex pod kind of thing.
Yeah. I can get behind it. Seems cool to me. My guess is there's some reanimation effects. That's a card of a color that we did not even know was in their deck. It could never have fathomed based on the lands they have. All right, we're switching sides here. I think the hands are on the wrong side, Red Mage.
Oh, they were on the wrong side now. I thought they were on the wrong side before. Damn it.
They were correct before, I'm pretty sure.
Damn
You
it.
said that this is on Mardu, Soul Sisters, so. I would generally say that Mardu is going to struggle with a deck that has cards that draw other cards when they get played, and it can attack for damage.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's a very broad definition.
No, if you're playing like Civic Wayfinder, not a great card, but like when you're 1-for-1 removing like Civic Wayfinders, you generally tend to lose those games, right?
Exactly.
When you're casting lightning bolts at Civic Wayfinders, it's the aristocrats theory, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're more of a
Look at like what magikmike's doing here. Like currently he's got what? Acquisition? Can't even cast his wall. He can cast like next turn the
What do you take with this Inquisition? Because my mind says to take the likely the Zulaport Cutthroat or the Blasting Station. You can see one or the other.
Blasting Station is probably what I'm leaning towards.
I think, yeah, it's reasonable.
Because I think with your hand you can easily like creatures are like easier to deal with just in general.
Blasting Station is expensive to cast, and it's also very
but notably you do have your Hermit Druid, not Hermit Druid. What's the new one called?
It's basically a Hermit Druid. The Shred.
Yeah, like
vanishing
instead of Aggro. Yeah, like that's what we're probably gonna see come down next turn because they can't actually cast anything else.
Yeah.
Now they can cast something else.
Yep. A lot of walls.
Yeah, like interestingly, they took the tokens, which does make both of the cards both a Station and Cutthroat kind of meh.
Well, Station and Cutthroat work very well together. That's why I consider taking one.
Exactly.
That's why me personally.
But there's no fodder right now. That's the thing. Does look
yeah,
like it's more from
fodder
like a
tends to be
aristocrat's
like
deck,
more
game
decks as opposed to engines. Like engines worry me more in the aristocrats decks than fodder does. Fodder is like, generally speaking, pretty bad. Like it doesn't, like card like that spirit card that makes 4 spirits when a creature dies. It's all right, but it's not a Canadian Highlander playable card until you put it in a deck that has an engine that complements it well. So I tend to like attacking the engine because the engine's based on more specific cards that are harder to replace. The counter argument to like taking the card that they took, the fodder, is that they already have a component of the engine on board, this Impact Tremors. That Plains is a very good draw. That is going to allow them to likely, cast a bunch of walls, and okay. I think I would have gone with the green wall first, just to see if I drew a better card that could blink. But yeah.
I'm looking at this ephemera right now. I'm thinking, are we going to see? Oh, first thing, Era Interlude as well. Yeah, this is definitely a blink-based version.
Yep.
I'm curious. We might well see this also be a Time Walk combo deck. That wouldn't be surprising, especially if you're already an Ephemerate.
It actually can't be, but because Soul Ring's in their deck.
Yeah, they have Sol Ring and Pod, right?
No, they at least have
Well,
Soul
yeah,
Ring.
you can play Pod and as well, I think.
You
Oh
can
no,
definitely
they increased the. No, they haven't done that yet. Technically.
No,
No,
they
they
don't have
couldn't
Time
You can
Walk.
have.
Their points are Pod, DT, Sol Ring.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah, I agree if we're solving, but if you remove Soul Ring, is what I'm saying. You can have Pod,
Correct.
Spellseeker, and Time Walk in the same deck. That's definitely.
Isn't
No,
Pod
you
2?
can't.
No, Pod is
You
2
can't.
mana. Pod is 2 points, right?
Pod's 2 points. The Time Walk is 7.
So
and the Seeker's down 2.
So you
Yeah,
can
no,
up until
Seeker is going to become
today.
2. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You're right. Afterwards, you won't be able
Yeah,
to.
after tomorrow, no more. But today you could have, I guess.
Yeah.
But you're right. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to just see an end of turn, like, your interlude, like, bounce whatever creature they play here. Just keep it on the tempo.
Yeah, just get value. Yeah.
Draw all the cards. Gain the value. Win the game.
1 life. Yeah, all that.
Yeah, like, I'll even, like, next turn just ephemerate the, like, oh.
This is just one of those games where, like, one player has not drawn mana and the other has, and it's, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, Lucas couldn't even cast anything, actually.
No, he can't cast spells, so it's...
Yeah.
He can cast the 1/1 out. He probably wants to leave up...
He could cast Savage Station, actually. Or is this something he has in hand? Doesn't matter.
I believe Salvage Station is 3 mana, but I could be wrong. Could be 2. Could be wrong on that. Pretty sure Salvage Stations. Do we have a bot in the chat? I'm gonna check because I don't remember if it's 3 or 2. I think it's 3. But...
I think you're right. I think it's Grinding Station, who's 2 mana.
Yeah, or is it Blasting Station or whatever? Not Salvage Station, Blasting Station or something like that.
No,
I
can put it up on stream.
I believe it's a 3-drop. Alright, we got a mock start. That's a...
Yeah.
What does that wall do? That parapet or whatever that is.
I think
That's Bastion of Remembrance, you think of? What is it? To the Black Fun enchantment that says
yeah, it's not a
makes a
ball.
1/1 human token, and then it's basically the aristocrats on an enchantment.
Yeah, there's Blasting Station. Yeah, no, it is 3. Yeah, they could have cast out their 1/1. My guess is they were trying to bluff removal so that like they didn't like EOT.
There's no way this deck should be called Noble Nuns. Just saying.
What's that?
There's no way this deck shouldn't be called Noble Nuns.
It could be. Yeah, you could do that.
Who suggested that it should be?
And
I mean, really, this is less Soul Sisters and more
it's closer to aristocrats based on what we've been seeing, with maybe
yeah.
some life gain. So because like a lot of the powerful aristocratic cards that really pay you off for sacrificing creatures do end up giving you life as a
I actually don't like playing the Castle Ardenvale turn 1 because it limits your draws that you can cast, like 3 drops that you can draw on.
Like you have so many fetches, like you might as well just play a fetch and get a tap land.
That's what I'm saying is, you don't even need to get a tap land.
Or even just play the Mock Marshal. I get why you don't, because I think he wants to just play the Bastion first, and then the Mock Marshal.
Sure,
that seems weird.
Equity in the draw step, right? Like play a fetch land, don't even fetch with an EOT, draw your card, and then you have a lot of options for what you're able to cast off the top of your deck the following turn. So, yeah. Huh. All right, we got a 1/1. A 1/1 is down.
I will say that the Bastion is a nice recent addition to the Aristocrat deck.
It's a very cool card, yeah. I mean, here we're going to see it get Knight of Autumn.
Yeah, Aristocrat is the deck that I'm consistently sad isn't better than it is. Because it's such a nice deck, and definitely like a very different deck, because you can't quite call it aggro, you can't quite call it mid-range. Like, it doesn't quite clearly fit into any specific fold.
Like archetype, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a...
It does something that's so consistently seen in Magic, like sacrificing creatures and getting value of that.
Yeah, I mean, the issue you run into with it is that it's a little bit, it's so incremental to a point that like it's an overly fair deck, right? And like you have decks like
exactly, like it's like this is what we talked about.
Yeah.
Like yeah, sure, it does beat down while it does it. Like Rebel Master, great example of beating down while still providing tokens, a lot of value. But
Speaking
like we mentioned,
really solid draw there on Rabble Master.
Yeah.
That was one that actually I think will allow this to be more of a game than it looked like it was going to shape up to be. I mean, here it's
Luca's just throwing more lands here. Like, at least they can activate the castle now, so that's an upside for them.
Yep. And I mean, they've already got a token. This token's probably going to get through
Like,
because they don't have.
you might as well just get the tap land here, play the Mox, actually. Unless you're, like, why are you getting basics right now?
I don't know. Maybe they're playing Blood Moon. That'd be
Look,
hilarious.
if you're playing a low curve, multicolored deck, you probably should not be playing Blood Moon.
I 100% agree with you, but there were some folks in the Discord like just last week who were like debating playing 3-color Mardu Blood Moon, and I'm like, I don't know why you'd want to do that to yourself. Mardu's mana already is bad. Why would you want to make it worse?
You shouldn't do it, but that hasn't stopped our Discord people before.
Yeah, no, I told them like you could definitely do it, and it could work some time, but like you would be losing for a lot of percentages where you got to play games of Magic where you made relevant decisions, because you would just not play a lot of the time. Don't know what they exiled, but you know, probably just looking for a removal spell to be honest, just to deal with this silly goblin.
I mean, at least now you get to start eating the attacking goblins so they don't proliferate anymore, but damage is kind of done.
Yeah, I have a feeling. Yeah, that was actually not a bad draw because that.
No, that's definitely not horrible. Just being allowing you to just take one every turn as long as Rakdos is in play.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know what they got off Gunty?
No, we don't. And I mean, they obviously have the ability to get 2 more things off Gonti next turn with this Phantasmal Image and this Ephemerate if they so choose to.
Yeah.
Possibly
not wanting to use the Phantasmal Image though.
Oh, I hadn't thought of it.
That's a really aggressive attack.
Yeah.
Oh, they got an upgrade.
That's very interesting.
Gonti. Just FYI.
So they go down to 4.
So they got a braid off of.
Yeah,
Gonti.
they have an upgrade. Sorry, I just blanked. They could actually figure it out what it was.
Let's see here. You definitely want to get rid of the Corpse Knight at some point.
Yeah, they're just gonna braid the Corpse Knight. I mean, you can. Yeah.
I think like a braid Corpse Knight, possibly play the birds, and then the Ephemerate or something maybe.
Yeah, you attack with Gonti, Ephemerate Gonti post combat, play birds, and then abrade the Corpse Knight after generating all the options. Yeah. I mean, I would
the only other option I could see the argument for, and I don't really like that line, is playing in 2 Mercstar and getting back the Knight. Because then next turn you could go Knight Ephemerate.
You could.
But I think you might as well just wait with that.
Yeah, you get better targets. Knight's not really that great here. I mean, you gain life. I mean, you're at 4, so I guess that there's some credibility.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I do think you have to kill them with the Corpse Knight though, because like.
Yeah, any creature draws lethal at that point.
Like, they play so many cards that just make 2+ parties.
What? What?
You weren't even dead.
Uh-huh.
Like, you're going down to 1. 2 if you're not... 2 if you're tumbling with birds. Oh, I think it's maybe overkill.
Okay.
Like, you'd definitely get back in this game.
Alright. I mean, they made their choice. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Alrighty. Yeah, I don't know how to explain that to the chat. Sorry, guys. I didn't feel like they were dead either. I mean, at all, really. I felt like they were actually in a really good position. I would have felt good on the other side of that. Well, there's a Soul Ring and a Demonic Tutor. You probably keep those hands. The DT may be finding mana.
Honestly, it might just be a DT into land, yeah.
Yeah, we are on the play. I mean, you don't have to worry about Inquisition. I mean, it's probably just going to be a DT land, but I mean, their decks...
Yeah, get like some sort of black X. Probably honestly just an all blue black source due to the fact that you're basically have a Dimir hand at this point.
Yeah.
With 4, like, you have 4 blue-black drops, like...
Trop would be reasonable, too.
We do actually see the first actual Soul Sisters-like card in the Impassionate Orator, also known as a card I've told people not to play multiple times in this format.
It's pretty rugged, yeah. Well, I think the thing is, Ben Wheeler was playing it for a while, and like the Soul Sisters variants, but the card's not great.
No,
actually,
I think in general, I just don't really like Soul Sisters in this format because like the deck is great once you have like a 60-card format because you can play the really consistent deck. But it's just not enough good payoffs. Like we are getting more here, in even like the new sets, like for life gain.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's just like once again too slow for this format. Like this is a very fast format.
Yeah.
And you have to play cards like a person.
The thing is, like, not everyone...
orator.
I mean, being fair, like and I think you say it's a fast format, but like you play in this event on a fairly regular basis. You tend to play monochromatic aggressive decks, which is like one of the fastest decks, probably one of the best decks in the format. And you do consistently very well with it. So
but you're right. A lot of people don't do that.
Exactly, and it's like I wasn't saying anything negative about you. I'm just saying like in general, like not everyone does that, and like your records would probably go to show that. I mean, like you're not a bad player by any means, but you know what I'm saying. Like you probably don't win all that often if everyone's bringing like top decks, right? Probably have
I agree.
Some rougher results, like not rough, but I mean like different. There's a vindication.
You're 100% correct. Like I am by no means like a top player. I think if this was more of a this is basically like an FNM like
even if
competitive
you are,
level,
like,
right?
Top player, like you're winning 70% of the time, right? Like if you're, like that's being like a top player probably is like 70%, about. And if you're bringing like a top end deck, and you're winning like 80 to 85% of the time, it probably has the assessment's probably that like the metagame is a little more casual, right? That's fine. That's like that's another thing you can do in Canadian Highlanders. Basically, you do whatever you want to do.
Also, it's Lucas. I'm gonna complain about him all the time. I know the guy.
Oh,
we met up multiple times IRL now at this point.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, he's one of the few other Danes I know who actually plays Canadian Highlander. I did actually hear about some other people who mentioned the format recently, but he's not one I'm really.
I can understand why you talk shit on him because he plays in Passion Order and it just gains too much life.
Oh yeah,
too much life against red deck wins. Two toughness is a real big hurdle.
Shock.
Some Diabolic Intent. That's actually cool art for it too. I've never seen that art.
Honestly, not even kidding. As a mono red player, if I see a person on the alright on the other side, I'm like, sure thing, buddy.
Yeah,
that's not what I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of the card that makes 2 tokens. I'm afraid of kitchen things like.
Yeah, kitchen things.
Kitchen things gives me nightmare.
Obstinate Baloth. If someone wants to play that.
Oh no!
It's not good, but if you want to play that, it's bad for a red deck.
Or the better Obstinate Baloth if you're in those colors. Siege Rhino.
Yeah. There's a good card to play. I mean, Obstinate Baloth has a reason to play it over Siege Rhino.
Absolutely.
You're playing against a lot of black decks, like mono black control.
Especially if you're playing a lot
of really branch people trying to.
I think it's going to be hard for Lucas to just they have a lot of great cards in hand. Honestly, they actually don't have that bad a hand. Like they do maybe a bit of sacrifice outlets right now. But just look at what Darrel's doing here. Like he's just going Venser, no. Capra, no. Agent, no. Once they get to 7 mana at least.
Well, the mana may actually be an issue here. The mana restriction may be an issue.
Yeah. Oh, Abrodicane, no.
I actually don't mind just eating this order and attacking with the Choop.
Yeah, no, I don't hate that either. Just you have a Abrodicane and you can deposit.
You attack first.
What are you going to sacrifice here?
Attack first, homie. Oh, every time. All right, then. Attack first. If you're gonna do it, you attack. Oh, okay. No attack.
Yeah.
Maybe
I don't like playing Diabolic Intent here.
No, neither do I.
Unless you get a 2-drop, the thing is, you can't cast up, you can't pull up Abrupt Decay unless you get a land, in which case, I suppose.
Plus, you build equity in Diabolic Intent by waiting on it. Unless you
look at how awkward Pod is. I realize you build your deck around it.
Yeah, especially in the face of a Judith, which is gonna pack damage on real quick.
Judith come down, you can't block.
you
can block as well. This is just Judith and probably I mentioned Kitchen Things coming down as well.
You can.
I don't think you want to be playing the Spirit Keeper quite yet. I think that's better to play secondly compared to the Things. You could choose to play the Spirit Keeper and Kitchen Things if you have the mana for that.
We'll see.
No, you don't have the mana for that. That's too much white mana.
We'll see what Pod ends up getting. I mean, there are certainly lines with Pod that could win.
But the problem is, you have to. I guess you can actually play and activate it next turn.
Yeah, and if you had a land, you could possibly win next turn, but it'd be very. I don't know the line.
Wouldn't be surprised to see something like maybe a deranged Termin card.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of the kind of the quote unquote bad Pod cards like Breaching Hippocamp. So I don't think they're on Combo Pod. I think they're on Value Pod.
Yeah.
Personally.
Something closer to Warp Pod.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, we know they're not on Warp
Pod.
Pod.
To be fair, just playing a value-centric pod list is absolutely not bad. Pod, even if you're not comboing out of it, still a great fucking card.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's 2 points for a reason. I mean, the card definitely can, in the mid-range games like this, can just win games. 100%. See, the thing is, you're obliged not to really block now, right? So you should have attacked anyways because you want this.
I honestly, I just like not playing party or just playing Chupacabra kill the Judith.
I agree with you. The 5-drop they get.
That's why I just really didn't like playing. Yeah, with Decker, I mean, they might have some 5-drop that.
They're gonna get a Hermit Druid. They're gonna Hermit Druid to block. They have to block here because they're gonna die if they don't.
Yeah, unless I have something I really just cannot think of. Like there might be some. I don't know what
Hermit
the
Druid. We saw the Hermit Druid before.
Yeah, like that's what I expect too. Like
it's a very reasonable.
Notably, yeah, that is Deep Forest. I mean, that's the name.
Yep.
Which I think currently is the better version, because like.
It depends on how you're playing. I mean, like if you're playing a recurring nightmare deck, which you're probably not in Canadian Highlander, because it's a really, really expensive card to kind of loop. Hermit Druid does have some advantages over it. Not many, but some.
Yeah, true.
Because it dies.
With Pod especially, Deep Force is better because you can just have it untap second next turn. Just have gained like 4 squirrels.
Sea Castle Embereth here, which is not going to make a real functional difference this turn, because they're likely looking at a lot of trade.
I actually disagree.
This turn? You think it's relevant?
Yeah.
Why?
This allows you to play both your Falcon Rough Noble and your Spirit Keeper.
It allows you to cast spells. That's correct. But as far as the card itself goes, it's not.
You're right. It's not gonna probably.
It's a land, you know.
Yeah, it's a land.
They're trading off.
But it's a better land to have access to next turn, especially if you like end up in a situation where you like make a bunch of Spirit tokens off the Spirit Keeper at some point.
For sure.
This is the first
then
time.
It's just like have some flyers.
So what 6 are we going to do?
Oh,
like, is Grave Titan in their deck?
Kill all of them. Makes sense.
Yeah, the problem is one of these is going to target because Judith can actually target creatures.
There's actually an argument. There's a legitimate argument. I'm not saying it's correct. So just kill Judith. I think that's wrong. I think you do block all of them still.
I think you almost have to. The problem is the Deep Hermit Druid's going to get targeted by one of these triggers.
So you take like if they just go face, you could just go down to 5 here.
Yeah, but then like the Falconwrath Noble becomes problematic. So you're taking a lot of damage off that.
Look at all these triggers though.
They may actually be dead to this. That's 6.
Oh, right. I forget the Falconwrath also triggers. Yeah, you go down to 2.
Yeah, so you have to block.
Yeah, and you can't have much more.
And the Judith is gonna brush the board.
And now Pod's just gonna be awkward because you can't even abrupt decay the Noble. If you play the Ravenous Chupacabra, you go down to 1.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not in a great spot.
This is the first time that they read the flavor text on Falconwrath Noble. This guy's a dick.
Huh? Oh, you don't like the card? I think the card's expensive. Is the issue.
No. This is just like from a flavor point of view. This is the first time I read the flavor text on the. This guy's kind of a dick.
Oh yeah, like all of the fucking instructs members just fucking pricks. I will admit I am annoyed by how Lucas tapped because now they have to pay 1 life more than they had to.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it matters that much here.
I think absolutely doesn't.
I think the sequence of plays to put Pod down early is definitely kind of cost.
I do like the choice to just kill the Deep Forest Hermit instead of putting them in 1.
Oh, 100%.
There's definitely some arguments, but like I think it's so small.
Without a land drop, so you can play out this Ravenous Chupacabra, kill the thing that domes you, and then you're dead to the lethal or dead attacks on the next turn. So that's it. That is it.
Oh yeah, especially because you're actually never mind. I'm wrong because you drain whenever you kill the creatures. That's just actually the same damage.
Yeah,
you even gain more life that way. That's actually just a way better play. Never mind.
You know, I don't think. I think if they took random.
Yeah, no, that was that game. Like getting Pod there just did you nothing really.
Well, it's that coupled with
everyone didn't do nothing.
Don't concede the game until don't concede a game until you know you've lost the game. I think that second one game, like you definitely had not only outs. I think if you manage to stabilize there, you're in a very favorable position.
Yeah,
your opponent hell bent. I mean, it could have still lost for sure. That last game, like you didn't hit the lands you needed. You're gonna be in trouble. But there's
if you're in like a situation where I'm probably gonna lose, that's not like. Of course, you feel like unless I draw like these 10 cards in a row or some shit like that, then sure concede.
So like even as like a habitual control player, right? Like I like to play a lot of control. I think Red Mage does as well. Like you play exceedingly you play very aggressively when you're dead to everything. And when you can't lose, you play very safely, right? I mean, and it's like, in that situation, like you had.
Well, I think that's mostly the case for almost all decks.
It's any magic. Like you take insane risk when you're already dead. It's like it doesn't matter because if they have it, they just have it. Yeah.
Like,
but it's
if you're dead to a bolt, you have to play like they don't have a bolt. That's basically like substitute whatever
Make the best
for
when they don't have it. Set up for the world they don't have it, and if they have it, you're already dead anyways. Who cares?
Even if it's overwhelmingly likely that they have it.
Yeah. Anyways, here we've got a green deck versus a Jeskai deck.
We were asked for 4 colors blood, so I provided 4 color blood.
Cool. Yeah, I actually played against this deck earlier today. I want to say or last night.
JP was complaining last night that you demolished him, so I assume it was that.
Yeah, I was playing Jeskai.
Yeah, JP and I have been like together with another couple friends of mine. Have been like kind of just playing like random online games, Sea of Thieves, Grim Dawn, random stuff. So like we've been talking kind of all around.
I think JP actually had me in 2 of the games in the matches we played. I mean, I think it was 2 games and I 2-0 swept, but I think they could have gotten me. And like 4 color blood's it's a trickier deck than you'd expect. It's just a card quality deck, right? It's like a deck that plays all the good stuff. But mana sequencing is important, and then like you actually do have to play some control in it. You do have to play a little bit of control. It's a mid-range deck, right? There's a lot of value-based decisions on like whether you want to be the beatdown.
Oh yeah, like call against command. Like, do you destroy something and draw? And
even before that, like in the use of cards, like that for sure, like that card's modal, but it's more so like about knowing what role you should be assuming at what time you should be assuming it.
Yeah, like
if you like erroneously trying to like beat down and like you're not the beatdown right then, like your opponent can just really exploit it. That's kind of like those are kind of the values.
It's a very like aggressively based mid-range deck, but it's still a mid-range deck nonetheless.
Yep.
Mid-range decks, like you say, especially always have to make the decision. So that's like that's like the big question. Like, I think all major archetypes has like the one major focusing question of like mid-range. Am I aggro? Am I beatdown? Or am I control?
Well, and like there's a couple cards
that go off. Like,
there's a couple cards that have been printed like within like the last couple years, like Palace Jailer, which they're certainly running. And it was actually kind of going back to like the games we played. Like it was a decision where they opted to play that card, at a time that was probably, in my opinion, a little bit early, because all right, so Bagel Bites wins the match. Why did Bagel Bites win the match there? Are they just dead?
No.
They have to go. Huh.
Yeah, that's a colonnade, I presume.
Oh.
That's what?
It's a colonnade. That's 4. Colonnade.
Oh, they're activating the colonnade. All right. They don't have an answer. Got it. All right, cool. So they're activating it. I was like, what's going on here? All right, got it. Yep.
Yeah, I just messaged them being like, hey, I noticed that like we're kind of moved to your back table. Would you mind sharing your hands? It was like, this match just ended. I was like, oh. Well, let's see what we got to offer to our viewers. We have Brahms versus Wolfgang, Evios versus Arakasi. That's it, actually, I believe.
Let's check out Arakasi versus Evios. There'll be some control versus tempo.
That match actually just ended too, so let's watch some.
Okay, well, check out Red Deck Wins versus Brahms. What's Brahms on today?
Death and Taxes.
Oh, well, it's still going, though. Okay. Typically speaking, Death and Taxes should be pretty good against Red Deck, but we'll see. Yeah, there's a reason why, although the figure can eventually get massive. I assume they found a Jit, and that's going to be a hard card to beat, so. What do you think, Gosmit? Sword or Jit? What'd they get? Oh, that put some damage on.
I'm going to be honest. Like, the advantage of Sword is that it just says no to a removal. But I'm honestly always more scared of Jit.
Jit is
they're definitely both very scary.
Kills like a lot of your threats, right? It just 2 for 1s. I mean 3 for 1s because it draws you a card. I'm
gonna be honest with you here. I think if you're in a package where you're like playing Skull Clan, I'm not sure if they're playing Skull Clan. They might be.
Yeah.
In general, I'm not sure. I actually am a fan. Like, do you want to play both the Fire Knights and the Jit? Because they both feel
Yeah,
like
you
very
do.
anti-aggro. Guess the-
No,
it's good against
Sword's
control.
actually an anti-control card that just randomly has the protection words for red, right? And it kills a lot of their threats.
And blue,
The
but
sword
that
is
one's
what is
not
the
less
go-to
relevant.
against like blue-red or against like blue-white. You
True.
get a sword because that means every piece of crap card you play becomes something that needs to be killed or countered because it's drawing you extra cards, and eventually you just grind them out with it.
Yeah.
Whereas like shit is like, you know, intrinsically better against these style of deck, and like it allows you to kind of punch up in mid-range
Yeah.
matchups.
Exactly, like especially mid-range when they are playing like creatures that are 1, 2
No,
toughness.
what's
Something
obviously
bigger than yours.
disconcerting if you're on the awkward against Jeet as well.
And equipments as well. Like they'll also punish you.
Yep,
happily.
yep. Yeah, no, I mean, if you look at it, it's like you take 2 off of your Stoneforge if you want to get a cost reduction. You take 2 off of equipping whatever piece of equipment you got, and then, you know, if it's Jit, all right, sword. If it was Jit, you take 2 off of each activation of it, so you take 4
it's
damage
Fire
dealing
Knight,
with the yeah. That makes sense to me. Like, you know, it is better in this position versus the Harsh Mentor because you take less damage off it overall. But yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just basically dead in hand here because like I'm not casting that. And
Probably not.
It isn't truly that interesting either. Like it's gonna be fine once you know your opponent's not holding burn up, but like until then, or if you, especially if you get the soul on it. Oh boy.
What do you
Crusader
think
with a sword?
what do you think you do here? Do you think you play out this 3/3, or do you think you leave up Searing Spear in case they draw the land or have the land in hand, which they do? Because the sword hit is kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen to
I think in Brahms seed, I'm more than happy if I have the land just to slam sword if I get a chance. Like that's how I win.
Into open mana, are you?
But I think the problem from WolfgangCloud's side here is that they can't just go. You play an equipment.
An alternate
I
option.
kill it and I kill you back. Like
An alternate
they have
option.
to continually abuse the.
The issue is the Giver of Runes is going to stop it, right?
Yes, that too.
So I mean, you're going to take 2 off of it. You're going to take a lot of damage off of this.
And I think that's the way to go. I think you want to get as much damage out of your Harsh Mentor as possible.
Yeah, I like the play. I mean, I think it makes sense. So
because, like if not like, they currently do not have any life gain, and I think you have to abuse that right now because like you're not winning on card advantage because of sold.
Let's do the math real quick. So
Winning
2
on like board state because you can't establish a proper board state.
So they're going down to
just
7.
have to burn them out.
They're taking 7 this turn, which puts them dead next turn to the burn plus the.
One notable thing is that I think I might another option is depending on like what you see Brahms do, you could actually just activate the Figure of Destiny into a 4/4.
The game's the game.
Oh yeah,
I like
especially if they play Murder Crusader here.
They have to. If you do the math, they die. They die if they use all those abilities.
Exactly.
They're gonna die anyways. I think they're actually losing this game. The Harsh Mentor did a number on them, which is why you play the card right. And they have no attacks here because the figure can become a 4/4.
Just confirm that they are in fact 1-1. So this game for better
they didn't have that line of play available.
Gonna Searing Spear here. I think I quite like actually activating the figure there. Wait, how much damage? Let's see. Never mind. Yeah, I did the math wrong there.
Yeah, they don't need to.
Yeah, you put them at 2. Say, good luck activating your abilities.
Yeah, do something. Yeah.
Because they have no flyers either, so they can't block the copter.
Nope.
You might even, if you're lucky enough, either find like 2-mana burst spell land or like shock.
No, even hard casting the sword next turn, which is what Brahms is trying to do, is hard cast their sword next turn, is still going to be lethal to the hand that they've got right now, the red player's got. So
yeah, exactly.
They are dead. They're probably dead. There are possibly cards.
Depending on what we see off the copter here, they might even be dead like now. And
right now,
next turn.
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
Like that's it. Like just if you can say no for them doing whatever they want. Like this is what I mean. Like here, Jit would have actually given you a bunch of life back.
I think you would have actually not been able to use Jit either because Jit is it's activated. It's an activated ability. So each time you activate Jit, you're taking.
That is true. Actually, good point. Yeah.
So you'd have to take 4 just to kill the Harsh Mentor to actually unlock the life gain.
Yeah, and at that point you're taking
really
so much
goddamn awkward. Like you're definitely dead. Yeah, that extra 2 would kill you So it's actually really awkward. So I don't think I disagree with Sword, but I don't think it's gonna matter much for him here.
Just play the volcanic hammer here. Actually,
Yeah.
no reason to not play a hammer.
They don't.
Honestly.
Okay.
Like, yeah, sure. Like, what do you want to be incinerating here?
I don't know. They could just be wanting to be careful. I mean, you can cast it next turn anyways, and still.
Yeah, true. It's like
it's not a big deal.
That's why I really like that on stage. Like, just allowing you to like play it, and then even if you like, I can only play one of the 2 cards.
Yep.
You can still play next turn.
No, having a 1-mana divination in a deck that doesn't or typically have card draw is pretty good.
Absolutely. I do remember some people being like, "You shouldn't be playing that card," but no, that card is so good.
It's like, good in that deck, I think specifically. I mean,
yeah,
like
I don't think much other than Mono Red wants to play that on stage.
No.
Like you have to be like.
So they're just letting them kill him. Like, all right, I'm gonna activate this and put myself to 3.
Yep.
All right.
Or at least going, you don't have the burn.
No, they got it.
Even then, like you just die.
Too many cards.
Actually, no. Actually, if it wasn't for this raid, they might have been able to equip the Miracle Crusader, kill
they're going out on their own terms. They're going out on their own terms here.
Nice.
They're gonna activate all their abilities.
Respect.
So many activated abilities. All right, so Wolfgang wins the match with Red Deck wins versus
that is the most damage machine Harsh meant to do in a game that wasn't against Idle Lands or
Time Bolt.
Paradox Second. Oh, Time Bolt, yeah, true.
That card's
actually not even Time Bolt.
Didn't you say you didn't like playing that? Didn't you say you didn't like playing that card?
That's correct.
I love that card. I love Harsh Mentor.
You know
I
what?
have this a lot more often. I'm telling you, it's really good in this format. Like, you need it. Like, I don't think it's good in Pennylander. Like, it's a card that's available in Pennylander, but I don't.
Oh, it's garbage.
It's garbage. But in this format, like, it literally like just utterly show stops certain things, like certain strategies. Like Time Vault, dead. You know, yeah. It's a painful card. Because oftentimes that matchup.
My experience, but I might just been unlucky in what I was up against.
Sure, you know, and like honestly, in this event, typically speaking, like there's not. Like, you don't see as many Time Vault decks. You know, you do see Death and Taxes every once in a while, which has a lot of activated abilities randomly enough.
Yeah,
but
but actually, that's mid-range decks. True. There's one pilot who's been on, like, Academy all the time.
There's more mid-range stuff.
There's also someone who's been on Time Vault quite a lot recently, but,
yeah. But
it's hard to take against them when that's you.
There's less eggs, you know, there's less, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually know there's quite a lot of eggs, like, there's quite a lot of people who come, like, they haven't been around that much recently, admittedly.
Yeah.
But people like Paranon Drugs and such do play X.
I just think that that's generally speaking a good matchup regardless for Red Deck wins, but they are cards like that.
Yeah, you're just that bit faster.
Yeah, just go quick. You know, you're similar strategy. Like one's a hyper mana strategy, one's just like a hyper, you know, kill you in the face strategy, and like they clock around the same time.
Especially X. Like I think X is it's that bit more consistent, perhaps than Academy. But it's just also that bit slower because you have to sit and crack X.
Oh, X is in my opinion, a how do I put it? It's not a bad deck, but it's definitely not a deck you can just pick up and like win with it on turn 4 and 5 very easily unless you played a bit of it and you understand what's going on. Not that it's like exceedingly sophisticated, but it's a deck that takes practice.
Paradox is definitely the easier deck to play.
Paradox is just a deck you just like throw out there and like anyone can pick it up and like you can win with it if you can cast spells, you know?
Yeah, and count.
It makes tons of mana.
Pretty well. Sometimes you do need to do some pretty like some good counting and just
I do think that like, the strategic advantage of like eggs is that it can beat blue decks a lot easier than Academy can. Academy can beat blue decks, but if it gets past turn 3 and they haven't essentially gotten a decisive blow in to like lock up the game state, they're probably going to lose against most blue by turn 3 if they're making the blue decks making its land drops because they don't have as higher relevancy of cards. Whereas like eggs can really grind out blue decks, but eggs is slower by about a turn to a turn and a half, so it will tend to lose more often to the aggressive decks. Kind of been my finding. I believe you're.
Alright. I will be honest. I tried to interject in there a couple times.
Oh, okay.
I was actually just talking to
oh my god, can you guys not hear me? Is that what's happening?
Of, what's going on? And I think we might actually have.
Can you hear me?
About ready. Is that correct, DRM?
Can you hear me?
I think
I have a question for everyone. How many rounds is this? Is this 4 or 3?
It is 4 rounds.
I
Can
do
people
believe
not hear?
it's
Oh my god.
4.
4 rounds.
That
Okay.
might be incorrect.
Oh God, I was muted this whole time. That's why people.
Yeah, I
didn't-
was-
You have been, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was literally going to tell you
Oh.
when I
what
was
you doing.
interrupted. Like,
I am sorry. I tried because I was like, can people not hear me? It's like, okay, yeah.
no one
No.
knows
Because I tried interjecting a couple times to say that we are ready for round 3, but you guys just kept talking over me, and I was like, what's happening? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I think I muted
So yeah,
myself by
we're
accident.
still waiting on Red Mage to get ready for round 3.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry
In the
about
meantime, though, Matt.
this. Okay, so we are in fact in round 3. Before I post the pairings,
Not your day, homie. Not your day.
no, today has not been my day. I have before we post the pairings, I just want to give a quick reminder. First, you want to sign up for this event next week. This event is run off the Canadian Highlander official Discord. You can type !point Discord. That bring is there. It's full of awesome people that can get you started with the format, which is an awesome format and you should play. And they can also get started with information on how to sign up with the event. You can ping me or any of the other people involved, and I'm sure that they will be more than happy to point you in the direction of what you need
Red
to do.
Mage, just a quick intermission here. Your coverage account number 2 isn't muted, and we could hear you from like the tournament voice.
That explains what's happening. I muted myself instead of coverage account 2. God damn it. Okay. Okay. So look, I am juggling a lot of stuff here, okay? It's with that said, I want to also remind everybody that if they want to just sign up for the next event, you can type !point next poll. And I have updated the sign up polls with all of the with the new links for to sign up for next week. As usual, our website is also has the current sign up polls for the upcoming week, so you can go there and sign up there. Give some love to our Saturday events. They have been some trouble gathering enough players in the last couple of weeks, so go sign up on Saturday. We need players for the Saturday events as well, and obviously please sign up on Sunday as well. We love having you. I want to remind also everybody that the tournament is brought to you by, among other things, your kind support. And if you felt that you could throw a sub our way, especially if it's a Prime sub, I can guarantee you that Jeff Bezos does not need those $5. It's really appreciated. It helps us keeping the 10th point boat afloat. With that said, I am ready to post the results for the next round. The bottom Twitch isn't providing. Yeah. No, okay, because it is on my end, Darrel. Thanks for noticing. But no, people have been complaining that the bottom Twitch isn't providing links for the Discord or the next poll comments. So like, I was worried, but like it is on Luca's side. So like, and it is on my side. So I was a little worried that there was some problems with the bot, but I think it's probably just a browser thing. We also have a drop, mostly because one of our players just vanished into thin air. I don't know what's up with that. Some act of magic, I suppose. And we can watch Arakasi versus Wolfgang in the finals.
All right. Well, so we're gonna get to see. So this is the finals, then. This is the last.
Oh no. So sorry, in the top table is what I meant. This is
okay.
There's gonna be another round after this.
Okay. Yeah, so it'll be Red Deck wins versus Blue-Black mid-range / it's tempo. So Blue-Black tempo. And we'll see how that goes.
I guess I'm joining the commentary team.
Oh, welcome.
I guess you are.
I guess I can also leave, Marco. That was very unenthusiastic.
I love giving you crap. Come on.
All too well, Marco. All too well.
Look, it's not game. It's a free. I mean,
So,
yeah, Please go ahead.
I wonder at what point, because like there has been a significant amount of representation of red deck wins in this format recently. Like at what point do you change up your blue-black tempo list for like more of a bug kind of like controlling mid-range deck to build some
I
equity?
think the answer in the Arakasi's case is never.
Fair enough. Then at what point do you start playing Soren's Thirst style cards in Moment of Craving?
Moment of Craving is great though.
And I don't know.
These are cards that we do play in
Now?
Pennylander. I play in Pennylander.
At least Moment's Craving might be worth looking at.
Yeah.
I've been playing that card in Cube for a long time. I think you get it to life is huge.
It's an okay card. So it's also -2/-2, which is kind of nice against some creatures.
Yeah.
I may or may not have also put oh geez, what's the card name? The one that hoses red real good and white.
Kitchen Finks?
No, Mono White, 2-drop. Core Firewalker. I put Core Firewalker in blood. Like,
you don't
like,
need to do that. Put a better card.
Doesn't fact that's really a mistake.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, well, no, I was gonna say I think you a double white card in a 4-color deck is gonna be a struggle to cast.
Interesting here. Wolfgang is actually on a JIT Elizabeth list. It seems.
Yeah, he's
not legit.
Points
By the way, you switch up the cams again.
Wolfgang and I were talking before. He's not using JIT as a proactive thing. He's using JIT as my creatures now can't get through, so let me deploy this JIT out and make my creatures be able to attack through your bigger ones.
Yeah, no, it's a stabilization play versus mid-range. It allows, not stabilization. It allows you to knock through a stabilized board state, i.e., Siege Rhino resolves, and you don't, have a board that can get through it, which is going to generally be the case for this deck. You put a JIT on something, and you're getting through it. So it makes good sense to me. The hands are reversed right now, Red Mage. If you want to move them back and forth.
Yeah, and
God damn it again!
All right, I just let you know.
I literally told you.
I
did at least. I tried.
So 1-2 getting in. This is such a bad matchup for this blue-black deck. Oof.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when
and their mana's even pretty bad.
Mono blue.
Yeah. When you don't have your mana fixed in this Field of Ruins, probably not going to fix your mana.
Yeah, no.
They play the Barbie ring into
it. And Wasteland, I think Wasteland, I heard it's bad against basic mountains.
It's not the best.
Who told you
Doesn't
that?
help you cast your spells.
Me.
I honestly do think that Field of Ruin is actually kind of like a suboptimal tempo card. I've never liked it in tempo. I like it in control.
No, yeah, I think you only really play that in control. And maybe lands.
I don't even play it in lands unless you play
I don't even play it in lands decks. I don't want to give them lands at all. I'd rather just play Wastelanded Strip. And that's basically it.
I would play Ghost Quarter before I play Field of Ruin, because Ghost Quarter you can actually blow up your own lands with and go ham in a lands deck.
True.
I may or may not have done that before. It's kind of sick.
You can just go utter ape shit and blow up all your lands and basically thin your whole deck out. You can also do the same thing to them, if you're casting.
Mux Ruby. If he plays Mux Ruby here first, which he absolutely should, he can play around them for Spike.
Yep. Not the best of spots here. I hate to say it, but that's kind of what we were saying. It's not going to be great.
Spike does hit a lot of things here when they are on the whole free drops plan.
Sure, until
the rest, when half your hand is uncastable.
Yeah, it's you need to put something down to block. I mean, this True Name could be really good, and I think it was probably the impetus for keeping this hand.
Yeah, that 1/2 flashes and flyer is not that interesting, and unless you I suppose you can technically on your turn
It's
you
not
have
for
to opt for land here.
It's not for this matchup. I mean, it's going to make this a 2/3 at a minimum, which is kind of nice.
Oh, this is awkward.
No.
Yeah, it feels like True Name Nemesis is about the best card that they have.
You probably lost the game too. I'm not seeing how you come back in this.
No, you're dead. You're going to put down the 3/3 that what do you put down? I put down the Menace 3/3 because that card's messed up.
That's the last card I put down here against the.
Really, against two colorless sources, you would not play. You'd not play your land and then play out the rampaging Ferocidon.
I would play the Scab Clan.
Why? It gets blocked by the 2/3 that's in play. Why would you play it?
Oh, it's a 2/3. Oh, right, I forgot.
Yeah, they opted. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I
I like it more than Sulfuric Vortex because it's actually a threat that it does
I
more
don't like
damage.
attacking here, unless you want to play the Fire Blast, and that's not what you want to be doing right now. Yeah, in that case, I do actually quite like playing the.
I think for Austin,
I did forget it. They grew it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That does
they opted
change
to.
the equation. It's quite hard to notice those things when you have like a. I should probably zoom in.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is too. I mean, like it's kind of like choose your own adventure. I don't think you can lose. Like from this point, it's going to be really tough because they're just
like
mana screwed.
Like they're gonna have to keep that Fairy Vandal back. Like Multi's just gonna keep hitting and hitting and hitting.
Yeah, and this
the
reman is
gonna at least allow for some options to maybe get away out of this.
Yeah, possibly, or they could,
At this point, I might actually play the Fire Blast because you're gonna have enough mana to.
And see if they remand it and then play your 3-drop.
No. I play the. In this case, the Ferocity first. Actually, no. I'd play Scaplan and then play the Fire Blast post.
You want the 2 damage?
Killing the Vandal and just getting in.
Okay.
Just
they
have a hard time powering them. Yeah.
I can see Fire Blast and the Vandal. I don't generally like Fire Blasting creatures, but you're so ahead here, it may make sense just to.
Like you get in for 4. That's the same damage that your Fire Blast is going to do.
Sure. I can see it.
And now you clear the board as well.
Yeah. Has ways of being punished.
I think people actually use Fire Blast too aggressively.
Well, I think it's a very rare case where you do want to use it as removal. It's very rare.
I don't think it's that rare. I do agree it's the majority of the time. It's
correct. I'd say it's 80-20 is like what I would give it.
Yeah, at some point it just becomes falter.
Okay.
Like it just becomes free falter.
Oh, that's a lovely not much.
Double black spell, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at JP using Falter as an example when you didn't even know what the card was a week ago.
That's rough.
Okay, I may know like almost every uncommon and common in existence from trying to build this cube.
Because I don't think it's 1-1 currently. That's not what I've been seeing.
I remember we were
that's really good having Wolfgang.
Lily is actually a good card in this matchup.
Yeah.
Lily is not a bad one.
Yeah, 1-drop into 1-drop Wasteland into 2-drop. That's pretty good.
It is. Their OP is going to make land drops, though. So, I mean, like, you're taking the turn off to do it, right? I mean, or not progressing your mana. So,
yeah.
They play this one first.
Ironically, that's actually going to be better if they're going to Wasteland next turn, because then they can Wasteland, attack, and then play the circle post combat.
Yeah, they don't know it, but this Wasteland is kind of brutal. Like, if they get to Wasteland them and just tempo play them so that they don't get to get down a Lily or something.
Yeah.
The thing is,
good. I don't think it's as insane as you think it is, but it's good.
No, it's not. It's not insane. It's okay. Honestly, I could see actually just 2 spelling as opposed to, like, Wastelanding. I don't mind that.
Yeah, that seems to be Wolfgang's agreement as well. By the way, the names and text are technically still switched as well. And Blue Black Tem. It's going off.
Blue Black TR or TERR.
Okay, you know what? You guys shut up.
No, not really.
I don't care about that. I can at least look at the game and the hands match up with the players, so that I'm fine. I don't care whether their names are.
Marco, we signed a contract. I'm like have to shit on you all the time.
All right, so we're gonna see a Liliana, the Last Hope, get resolved here, which is actually pretty big. It's gonna grind 1 card.
Yeah, 100%.
Out of Red Deck Wins. Like each card is really relevant against Red Deck Wins, right? So getting this one
to 4, is that correct?
Yeah, she does go to 4, so she's gonna take.
That's actually quite awkward because you can like, I guess you end up shocking it and then playing the.
She's a 3-for-1, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
I think play the Kenra and then kill her.
This also takes your OP off wanting to use Wasteland to actually hurt your mana base too, right? Because they have to use the Wasteland as a mana source, which is big.
No, they don't. They just play Earthshake and kill her.
Well,
that's true. They can Wasteland afterwards. They could. That's a viable option. I feel like
the awkward part of that is you have a Bone Crusher.
Yeah. You could just resolve the Bone Crusher. They agree. They want to leave up the burn.
You want to have the. I get why you might want to have the Wasteland around.
Yeah.
But you really want to keep Burst Lightning on right now?
I mean,
their deck is more
like
tempo
it kills.
deck, right?
That's
so, like I don't fully disagree with this line of play. Like I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, like at this point, like the difference between the third and fourth mana and the second and third mana
Now,
isn't as
I
big.
do disagree with the land they played there. Because I don't like
Yeah,
I
just
like playing
gets
around price
more
progress.
basics.
Yeah. I think you
Yeah.
Like, call me crazy, but what do you think of just like we're all sacking our creatures and we're both discarding cards here?
That's what I would
Get rid
go
of your
with.
land in hand. You don't really need that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and you're gonna lose your rankle as well. But
yeah, you're grinding another 2 for 1 out of your
they
red
want
deck.
everyone to draw. Okay.
That's risky.
You're going hard in the goddamn paint here. It's not risky.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean, it gives red deck more like gas, which is something I would just never do.
And costs you 1 life too.
Yeah. Also, you're 1 life down.
Yeah.
I guess they're like budgeting Rankle as a 4 power flyer sort of thing, or like maybe they're trying to race, but that just seems wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I would have just tried to crank their hand apart.
Yeah.
Crank their hand
the
down.
Thing is right now, I honestly don't. I think you just leave the the Rankle alone right now. Like you can't efficiently deal with it unless you want to face that as well.
Based on how they've made decisions here, I agree with you. I would rather just play more shit out and attack them for a lot of damage.
Yep. Yeah, I don't. I
if they're
like
giving me cards, I'm like great with it. I'm like, go ahead and let us.
Now we can actually like either Bone Crusher, Shock, Burst Lightning, or just Bone Crusher Giant next turn as well. They can't really block. Yeah, they can kill your 2/1 with the Rankle, and then have a remove spell. That's pretty good.
I think
that's what I hope they do.
Should go for Rankle sack.
Yeah, like I think you kill one and sack the other.
Yeah.
And then I mean,
you could also use the you could also draw 2 here if you really wanted to, but I think I like leaving the counter spell up at this point after knocking this card
if he
apart.
doesn't sack here, he might get punished by like. I guess if you don't sack here, you have to keep up counter spell. I think.
I would 100% discard though. Like you don't need that land. What? I don't like that play at all.
Look at this. Starfleet, just get the Hollow Sack. Just threaten to kill it while putting board.
Also, I mean, I guess they counter it, but like then they just Chain Lightning the Rankle.
Yeah, and hold up like.
Also, this interaction lost them 2 life because they lost 1 off Rankle and then lost 1 off the fetch.
Baron Ring is live now, by the way, so that's a note worth.
So I was really excited to see Blue-Black try to race red deck wins today, but it seems that this will not be a historic moment in which that happens because I don't think it's very possible.
Like once again, like you have to realize,
control.
Am I the one who should be trying to kill someone, or am I the one who should be trying to not get killed?
No, you're the control.
You're usually as a tempo player, the one who should be trying not to get killed until you.
Yeah, and being fair, it's not an enviable matchup whatsoever. I mean, it's very difficult to win.
It's a hard matchup as hell.
Yeah, because your deck is it's probably one of the worst decks. It's one of the worst ways to be set up to try to fight red deck wins. It's like blue-red or like blue-black versus red.
Why is he fetching?
I don't think he cares anymore. I think he's just letting it happen. I mean, this is going to get rid of a good card, you know?
It is indeed.
So the Burst Lightning your face, play Bob? Like...
I mean, if you don't play Bob, you're dead.
Yeah, you gotta play Bob.
If you do play Bob, you're dead.
They do know like they have to block here. Like, there's no way they're not blocking.
They're gonna send it face, and they're gonna send the Barb Ring and see if they draw a 2-drop. I like Wolfgang style. That's what I would do too. I'd just for lulls, just see if the Bob kills him. Put him to 4. Put him to 2. I mean, you can just draw lethal on this.
Especially if you have like lethal with the Barb Ring.
Yeah. Well,
also, I don't know what life gain does Arakasi have.
Collective brutality.
Not enough.
Cruel.
Well, that's game.
Ultimatum.
They're playing Cruel Ultimatum.
Yup, clearly.
That would be sick. Cruel Ultimatum in a tempo deck.
They're like Chromatic Lantern.
What is the one black Escalate card?
You're talking about Cling to Dust. Yeah, that's a very good card. Probably
that's Escape.
That's not Escalate.
You know what I mean?
Brutality?
Collective Brutality, that's the
That's
one.
2 mana,
I think
though.
that's
Yeah.
one of the
That
only
is
live
2
games
mana.
supposed to
If
come
there
in.
is a card, there is one that costs 1 black
Yes,
though.
maybe
It's called
Fruit of Tizerus? No, so that's the only loss. It's only
I mean,
like
it's a burn spell. You should play it.
Oh. Alright,
Let's see
well
if
that
Blahguy and Loading are still playing, because we
Yeah.
haven't seen those this time.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
And just to let y'all know, I do need to Hey,
Yes.
Red Mage, I am going to be leaving around 4 o'clock or so, just so you know. So I got about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I
that's,
can hang
I mean,
out.
Marco, if you want to drop me, I'll stay on commentary for the rest of the thing because
It's okay.
I'm not going to like.
We'll
I'll
play the
carry
last
it.
round. We'll get. What am I trying to do? Right, this.
Yep.
We can figure out who gets to buy in the last round. Unless you want to drop. Like, don't feel obligated to drop so you can be on commentary, but if you want to.
No, I'm very sure Gosmic can handle it. I'm sure it'll be all right.
I'm just trying to keep Gosman in check over here. Someone has to.
Oof.
Oh, I didn't even know we were trying to do that.
No, because we all
You
have
just
to keep you
naturally
in
do
check,
it.
low man.
Oh, do you? You guys are trying? You're trying to keep me in check? Wow, you guys
We can't.
are terrible.
We gave up a while ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you were just
we couldn't.
if you were just right
We
more
wouldn't have
often,
time.
maybe you could, you know. But
He hasn't even started using 10% of his power
how
yet.
fuck is that? Yeah, I respond in a very, very good way when other people are right and I'm wrong. You know, I'm just like, oh, that makes sense. God, I'm just a terrible human. Fucking love it.
It's just the other way around that you have some bite to you.
Oh yeah.
Out there.
And I accidentally
yeah.
left the booth for,
Yeah.
you know, reasons.
But to be fair, so am I. I have been known to diss some people as well. As
So someone like, hey, yeah, I don't try. Like honestly, I try to get better with that. One thing as a commentator, I feel like a little rough about because I'm like, I'll watch some games and it's like with the blue decks. I'll be honest. Earlier watching the blue decks fight, I was struggling. I'll be honest with you. And that's a me
No,
thing.
yeah, I
Like,
agree.
I was just like, I play a lot of blue, and I'm like, no, please don't. And it's not because of any player. It's because I just want to see, like, I want to see their blue deck do well. You know, like I really do.
Yeah,
It's
like
just-
I'm
you
the
know?
same.
Your
when I
hands
went
are
see a red
switched,
deck,
I
and I'm just
think.
like, why are you going phase? You shouldn't be going phase. I'm like,
There we
Yeah,
go.
they should be good now, yeah.
Yeah, they're
this
correct.
is actually a matchup that how does this go? That Pern D can do some damage, but it's going to be tight on time. And that Kalidas is also
mean,
just a battering.
I mean,
based on the
they
hand
also
and
have
board,
5
I'm
points
pretty
of
sure
burn
this
in
is,
hand, so like
this is
that's
Blahguy.
another thing.
That's what I'm saying is like this hand ostensibly can stabilize, but it's going to be a struggle. Because this is
Do we
likely going to
know-
trade with 2
I
burn
presume it's
spells.
just a 2/2 right now.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm presuming we only have a 2/2 figure.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
accurate. Play a 2/2.
Well, like
They're
next turn they can cast 2 more haste threats.
Why is my quality shit right? Oh, there we go.
The
I can't
question
just
is-
like. I just like killing Kelly.
oh
getting
yeah.
in for
Yeah,
5 and then slapping a Skull Clam. Next turn, just
Yeah.
having all the damage.
Well, the issue is
Yeah,
you're not using your 2 exiled cards at that point, which could be problematic because you're wasting the 2 cards. But the way that you get
Well,
got
you're
with
only
that,
wasting.
Well,
Like-
like next
like one of the
turn,
damage
next turn
multiples
if
is
you
even
don't
phase,
kill
so you're actually
Kalidas,
not even
Pernicious
playing
Deed comes down.
well, that's what I'm
like-
saying. They don't know Pernicious Deed. That's going to be the card that makes this game interesting if they can not take damage off their lands because that Black Source, the pit, the Cabal pit they drew, does do
Yeah.
1 damage every time they tap it, which is not going to be an irrelevant amount of damage.
Yeah.
So no, my guess would be that.
draw green souls.
Mhm.
That said, if they do draw green souls, then they can just like chain. They can't actually play the what's the first of the 2 green shamans, the Utopia's Sprawl. They can't play that efficiently because that needs to target the
Yeah.
forest.
No, right now
But
they're
they can
totally
go.
off
They
your
can go
mana.
like say forest, wildgrowth on a swamp or something, and then play the deed for 2.
So this line of play makes sense from a card advantage standpoint,
Wait,
but I do
since
think
when did they have Dreadhold Butcher?
it's in exile
they're-
from light up stage.
Oh,
Yeah, might have
That's
to
why I'm
save.
saying I think they're going to be incentivized to not just burn this Kalidas out immediately.
They're only
because-
attacking with. Ooh.
it does.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be brutal.
No, it does menace.
No, it does.
No, I mean, like,
The deed.
only attacking with one thing here.
there's a chance that they actually don't attack with their Kalidas. Now, if they had a green source, it's savage. Like then it's just like, oh my god, like all right, but they didn't hit the source. Now what they could do is actually play out their swamp and then use the Swift End ability in blocks to really F their opponent up. I could see attacking here and doing that because you get value off of it regardless to put back a blocker. I kind of like that, like attack, and then okay, they're just gonna play it out. I don't mind attacking and making a 2/2 off of it, to be honest though.
What is that land? The promo land?
That is a
reflecting pool.
A pool, reflecting pool. Yeah, it makes a color of any land you have, which is not an odd land to play in like a 2-color deck, but
yeah, that's kind of
there it is.
Useless there.
It's not great.
More lands from Blahguy.
I think they're just dead, right?
Oh yeah.
Because they have 5 points of burn in hand.
Yeah. So what they can actually do is all on attack with everything. Use the bolt, the lightning strike there to kill whatever gets blocked.
Even better than that.
Or burn it out. Just burn it out.
Yeah, you literally just go lightning strike phase, fork bolt phase, skull clamp, activate, equip the Dreadhole Butcher, shoot it for 1.
Yeah.
Don't even have to attack.
Oh no, Kalidas doesn't. You have to kill Kalidas before you Dreadhorde Butcher because it'll just.
What they're saying is you could just use the clamp to kill your own Butcher and do 1 off of it. So they were.
Well, no, Butcher wouldn't do it with Kalidas on the battlefield.
True. Yeah, it doesn't die. You're right. It does not die. I can never die.
This certainly does make you die.
Yeah, this is lethal.
Yep. Okay, well that's game. Didn't hit their colored sources. Unfort. I think yeah. I mean that comes down to like 2-color decks just having some of that awkward mana and really having to mulligan aggressively to get after the cards.
Yeah. Especially when you play bans like Warcraft, Stronghold, and even honestly Reflecting Pools.
I don't like Reflecting
Pools. Reflecting Pools seems weird.
2-color deck. Like,
I don't like Mishra's Factory either. Mishra's Factory is not a card I tend to like to play in 2-color or like mid-range control decks. You don't need it. All right, what we got next?
Yeah, let's check what other matches are still going. We got, so that's over. We got Avios versus Luca.
We haven't seen Necro. What's Necro on today? Are they still playing?
Necro is on
probably Pennylander.
Penny Seinfeld. I don't.
Oh, let's check it out.
I think it's. I think it's not good. I think it's over though. I don't think it's going on still.
Oh, it's already over. Oh, they're playing Penny Seinfeld.
That's just mean at that point. Honestly, that's just bullying.
Oh, what's the deck they're playing against? They playing against a white deck?
It's irrelevant. It's bullying.
Yeah. So
no. Honestly, like no. I disagree. I think that blue deck can literally beat certain decks in Canadian Highlander. 100%.
Oh yeah. I agree.
I just don't know what the matchup is. If the matchup's bad, then
I'm gonna interrupt you real quick. We have magikmike versus Darrel and Avios versus Luca as the ongoing.
magikmike on Jeskai seems pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Let's just get that one up. That's fine. We've already watched some Jeskai, but I mean, whoever hasn't been up, let's get them up. That's why.
Okay, yeah, that's actually a good point. The match is just starting now, so
cool.
These.
No personal ball. I think we're playing 4 still, unless we have to change that.
Yeah.
I think it's still 4. Which actually,
yes.
4, we have 2. We don't have 2 undefeated players anymore, do we? Or do we still have 2 undefeated players at this point?
I think it depends on what. There was another match.
Wolfgang is undefeated. I know that.
Yeah.
Gosmet.
We got a nice early calling oracle, just gaining a card advantage and ramping you at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like Uro if Uro was balanced.
Honestly, in some cases, it's actually
better.
Frankly, more relevant than Uro because it blocks early.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's like a wall.
Trading with Jackal Pup's pretty good. That's
sometimes
a card that can add up.
Hard, you actually, if you want to go 1 to 2, and like that's not a bad stop on the 2-drop slot.
Yep, it's also it's just a 2, which can be relevant to CMC in this format. It's a pretty deck-specific card, though. But actually, honestly, Uro is.
I think
a
it's more
closely.
it's worth looking more like not in comparison to Uro, but more like in like what's the blue-green instant called?
About the snake.
No, the
snake,
instant,
right?
the blue-green instant that takes place in standard right now.
Oh,
Growth Spiral.
Growth Spiral, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably closer due to they serve more similar. Actually, no, Growth Spiral is mostly a ram spell. Coring Oracle is a value creature that can ram. Oh, that's how I see it.
Yep.
Well, one person has cast a recall in this game, so I know who I'm voting for.
Well, there's a Recurring Nightmare. I mean, that could do something.
That's...
But yeah, in general,
they're playing the steel creature.
Yep, that's a Gilded Drake. In general, the control decks are going to be pretty favored versus these decks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you don't have as much like just beef. Like against control, you want to just put down Siege Rhinos and like Luxodon Smiters and just hit them hard. Hit them fast. Don't let them go long. And obviously,
preferably if those threats can be hard to deal with as well. Like say even like a Luxodon Smiter just being annoying, not being able to counter it, and having 4 toughness against a red deck also quite annoying.
Yep, no, that's kind of the theory behind like 4-color blood, right? So that's just a segue into
it. When I was playing against
beef.
When I was playing against this deck, I played a Loxodon Smiter, and they're on the sickest card I've seen in a while. They're still on War Leader's Helix, and they War Leader's Helix my Loxodon Smiter. I played a Anafenza, then they flashback War Leader's Helix on my Anafenza, and I'm like, I just can't win this game anymore.
Yeah.
Like they're still on some pretty sick tech.
Yeah, Helix is not honestly a wildly unplayable card in this event. A lot of people aren't playing like Storm type decks and stuff that there's targets for it, right? Most matchups you'll play in the 10th point are going to generally have targets for it, so you can get away with it. It's a little inefficient, but yeah.
I saw that they were on Absorb. That's pretty cool.
If you're going to play a 3-mana counter spell in that deck specifically, like that tends to be one of the ones you'll gravitate towards just because of the tempo it represents against the aggressive decks. In general, like
Marco,
Jeskai,
we can see that.
Yeah, I mean, in general, like...
Oh, yeah, I'm fixing it.
Yeah, in general, Jeskai is going to have a pretty favorable matchup versus most aggressive decks. That's cards like, Soulfire Grandmaster, which you see in their hand, which... It's actually a really hard card to race. Actually, I think I had that card against you the other night, and you had like something combined 7 power, and that little card was just kind of like chugging along racing against you.
Yeah, you gained more life than I attacked you for almost every turn it was out.
Yeah.
But one thing that is knowable, like as long as they don't counter your threats, like they're gonna counter the E with here, but like the Counter Oracle, it's gonna in for a lot of damage already.
Yeah, it's chipping. It's chipping.
I mean, they also have this Abrade whenever they want it, which is...
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you're not going to waste your Abrade on that target. You're going to put this thing down, have a counter spell up as well, and then counter whatever the next play is.
The fact that we have a Soulfire Grandmaster, we don't have Time Walk.
Yeah, you'll play Soulfire Grandmaster and just Jeskai midrange because like allows you to beat the crap out of aggro.
I want to take all the twins.
What's that?
I want to take all the twins.
Yeah, no, it's a cool card in that deck too. It's just you don't need to. I mean, you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're better off probably playing Recall.
We're just gonna say your creature is my creature.
Basically.
It certainly looks like it.
Relevantly, if they kill it in response, it doesn't do what they want it to.
No, it's
They're targeting their own. Oh no, they did it wrong. Oh, this is unfortunate.
They could have opted to disallow it, but now they're just going to animate dead it and get the card anyways if they want it. Which is fine.
I'm curious about what they were trying to get by that.
No, the one thing that is kind of nasty is if, like, for instance, their OP had a land drop this turn, which their OP has not made a land drop this turn. Recurring Nightmare could just start going ham.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
And like if that druid results, you're in trouble. Like if that druid comes down, like you're in trouble. That's a lot of power, and you need a wrath.
Yeah, I have been on the receiving end of that one in Penny, and it's not fun.
Yeah, for a land, it makes sense to be able to get a land there. And now, like, I mean, still at this point, like, they only have a 2-power attacker. They probably don't want to trade with this creature for the Ewit. That was a good draw, because that allows them to leave up all their counter spells, then also just have a random threat that can eat the Ewit, so it's not attacking through everything.
Yeah.
I think they're firmly back in the seat, or back in the control
What was
seat.
the draw?
It was a Restoration Angel. Was there a draw?
You meant that one. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, the most current draw for the other player has been Horizon Canopy. It's Altered Art Horizon Canopy. It's also not a bad one to pull.
Yeah, I think this is also a pretty decently competitive matchup in between. Like, they have a decent amount of things.
I do think if I were on the Rexer player's side, I would have definitely made attack with that Eternal Witness. It would have gotten blown out by this Restoration Angel, but it's going to tie up their mana if they want to activate the Wandering Fumarole to eat your 2/1, and that gives you the ability to resolve that Recurring Nightmare or the Druid to try to actually get something.
The Druid, I think.
Well,
Yeah,
like, they can also Court of Calling here now with relative impunity.
That's fair. I mean, that's also fair, but you do need to be worried more so about Spell Pierce here, right?
No, if you play Deep Forest Hermit and then you just cast Court of Calling.
Yeah, but, like, this way works without them knowing it, because they would have cast Deep Forest Hermit and it would have gotten, like, mana drained or something.
I actually don't like tapping out
if you attack with Ewit, that's what I meant.
What's that? Yeah, it's
I mean,
obviously
if you
have
attack
something,
with
yeah.
Ewit.
I would be fishy about it. I'd be like, that's weird. And I don't think that I per se would have just resolved the resto there. Like, I guess you can just race them. We've seen that.
Actually, attacking with the Ewit doesn't make sense because the Soulfire Grandmaster is a 2/2 and the Ewit is a 1/1. It's an animate dead.
Oh, that's right. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm dumb. I made a mistake there.
Wait, they're getting Chupacabra?
Yeah, evidently.
I guess.
Needs some value. Yeah, that's right.
I don't know what they have in their deck, actually. That's a decent one, I guess.
Does animate dead exile the creature when...
Nope. Just goes away.
Nope.
In that case, you could have gone like a blink spell, like blink the Ewit.
Get the animate dead back to your hand.
I actually don't like casting the Druid into this open mana. I like just attacking here and just If they activate their their creature land to block, then like you've at least occupied a lot of their mana. I mean, they can still pretty much cast any counter spell they'd likely have, but
agreed.
You definitely want to.
Well, at least then you have like limited somewhat the counter spells they can play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sadly, their counter spell they're going to play is pretty decent. I mean, I guess they're not doing anything with their mana other than like.
Yeah, mana drain's irrelevant. It's just a counter spell at this point, unless they draw something good.
Just gonna casually draw.
I like waiting on this till you can 2-spell. I don't like playing this out now.
I mean,
realized why the Scalding Tarn just got tapped and not sacked. I was like,
yep. Yield Urborg.
This is especially awkward because, like, yeah, sure, if it resolves, you have like the great line of play here. Like,
there's also the line of play now where you mana drain and then Soulfire Grandmaster back the mana drain.
Yep. Little do they know. I mean, I guess they can also get the infinite lands that way, but yeah. Although if they're doing that, like, there's a good chance they're gonna get blown out by something, like by a secondary spell.
Yeah, that's
fair. They start going for like recurring the path to exile. Like, I can see that going horribly wrong. That's what they try to do here. I actually think you don't cast spells here. I think you just wait. But
yeah.
This is also kind of punishing because, like, if they had tried to do the bigger spell and
like the awkward thing is, like, if you play one card a turn and they play one counter spell a turn, like,
that's how you don't beat control. Like, you want to, that's why you save your more efficient spell, Recurring Nightmare.
Yeah, if anything, I'd distract the canopy. Maybe.
Sure.
But even then,
I mean,
like, the land isn't
But
bad.
if you tie back to sequencing, right? So, like, here's how you win this matchup. You play out your Deep Root Forest Hermit if you want to play a card last turn. I could even see not playing a card. It gets countered by Mana Drain. This turn, you play out your Glenalandra. It gets countered by a Recurred Absorb, and then you play Recurring Nightmare, get back your Deep Forest Hermit on the same turn after 2 spelling, right? Which is that's how you win this matchup, right? That's like you have to look
exactly
to
like
2 spell.
You just need to like have some way to force them to.
What the fuck does Rex Sage do except, I don't know, kill your animate dead?
Kill your own animate dead?
I mean, you can play this as a 2/1. It's reasonable there.
Hey, look, they have the Bane of Standard in hand. Oh wait,
It's
that card's banned at standard.
Yeah, the band of standard. You said that.
You gotta counter like the birds here, like they fly. Oh. No. Like we're probably just gonna see which mana do they have access to currently? 8 mana. Yeah, we're probably gonna, like if they draw an on-tap land, I can imagine seeing a Drake here at some point. Oh, we might just.
I mean, the other part is
that's nice.
If you're recurring this Path to Exile, if they have enough basics, you're just giving them the ability to start double spelling quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that if they have enough basic is a big
I don't think they
if.
play more than like 2 if any.
Yeah, like keep in mind that it's like a 4-color deck, right? Like I don't know how many basics they're able to find.
What do we have? 1. Well, this is gonna get. At this point, I feel like you're just kind of hard locked under these counter spells.
Yeah.
You're not per se.
You're not a hard locked, I agree, but like you're definitely in an awkward situation because like look at once again you're playing the deep.
Yeah,
you're playing
if they do go back and look at this game, though, I hope they take to heart the commentary on like how they sequenced out the recurring nightmare turns, because I do think that this game actually would be being won right now by Card Knock Life had they sequenced it in a way that, I mean, it was given the draw step of Glenalondra, but you sequence your more expensive spell when you expect it to be countered on a turn where you're trying to set up 2 expensive spells to double spell on the following turn, which in the cases it was, like if the Glenalondra gets countered and their opponent's a little greedier and tries to recurse their counter spell without having access to a secondary counter spell afterwards, Recurring Nightmare resolves, you have a Deep Root Hermit or Deep Forest Hermit. And
I'm surprised the Deep Root Hermit's resolved.
Yeah, they want to path it, I guess. I don't know.
Pathing it still leaves the tokens around, though, which is unfortunate for them.
Yeah, but like, they can't really swing into the soul fight, right?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, once it swords it, yeah, it's gonna kill. They will.
I guess. Yeah, I guess the other thing is he's just racing them in the air with the Drake.
Right.
Yeah, the Drake is probably.
Especially, I want to be countering the Deep Forest Hermit.
Which one of you has a cock crowing like crazy in the background? Because that's awesome.
That's me.
All right, cool.
That's what?
There's just a rooster outside our window.
It's a rooster. I use the word cock. I'm sorry. Like I meant it in terms of like the animal.
Oh, I know what you mean. I just didn't know with them.
JP's microphone is always the source of many a wondrous noise. Although usually it's just because he is stuffing his microphone into like I don't know, into random places. But normally,
this time it's not my microphone, which is kind of like refreshing.
Yeah. This time you have actual noises coming.
So this is actually interesting. I don't think I'd be blocking here.
Why not?
Because I think Iron Ice allows you to gain back a lot of life you're gonna lose if they can't play anything, and if you don't,
I don't mind. I don't mind.
Oh, you
blocking.
can't actually never mind. They already cycled. They don't have lethal next turn. Then I thought they could set up lethal next turn.
No, they do. They do. They can blow up the Birds of Paradise, right, and then attack through for lethal.
Oh yeah, they have path. Yeah, right. I forgot the path.
Yeah, there's a crackling Drake that's just size enormous. So. They were
wildly.
Yeah, I thought they would be one off if they didn't play Carter. That's what I figured.
No, I think it's an 8-4 or something. But no, I mean, or a 9-4. It's just big, and I mean, you could just cycle off your other cycling counter. I mean, you can make it bigger. No, the real crux of that game was the sequencing on Recurring Nightmare, in my opinion.
Well, just sequencing in general, but yeah, especially that.
Yeah, that was the big turn. It was like, all right, this went wrong, and if this goes wrong, like, how do you draw out of it? We didn't, but that was the card I think I could have ostensibly seen getting set up for the most value. So what do we have left in this round?
The round is over. This is actually a good breakout point. I know that you needed to leave at 4, so thank you for hanging out and have fun. Have fun doing Father's Day activity with your children.
All right, thanks. You guys take it easy now.
Next week.
Hey, say hello, man.
Alright, JP, do you want to drop and stay in the booth, or do you want to play next round? It's up to you.
It's either or. I'm fine either way.
Okay, then you're not dropping. Okay, great.
I am the booth.
I am the booth.
It's me if you don't drop, so...
Well, we'll see who gets we'll see who gets the buy, right? Like whoever gets the buy is welcome to. Is welcome to do the thing. As soon as I figure out exactly.
Lowman disappeared. Not Lowman. Loading disappeared. That might be a problem.
Loading was
because he thought we were only playing 3 rounds.
We have specifically, whenever anyone asked, said at least 4.
So now we have no buy.
We've had 12 people with 4. We've had 12 people and run 4 rounds for like 4 weeks in a row now. You would imagine that we figured it out. But if loading is nowhere to be seen, then loading is nowhere to be seen.
We'll yell at him later. It's fine.
Let me figure.
They might just have to go
are you still around?
I wouldn't yell at loading. Loading is great. Unlike some people here.
I know Gosmet's terrible.
I mean, I'm assuming that the comment was directed at me. And like, I mean, I suck, but like, I'm aware
of
it.
No. It wasn't you, definitely.
I like how everyone took the blame when Necro was trying to dig at me.
Oh, no.
No, I'm digging at myself.
You're supposed to speak.
I'm digging at myself. But
everyone has taken the blame for this. We all just jumped on this grenade.
In my defense,
not everyone. If you count everyone, like, if it's everyone that isn't muted, sure, but...
Yeah, yes.
I wasn't taking the fucking blame.
Who won last round? It was magikmike. It was that
we threw you on the grenade, Gosmet.
I know.
No, I like Gosmet.
I do too. Like, it'd be fucking sad if I didn't.
Very much so.
Do we have another drop?
In the wise words of
Brahms went to get food because our match.
Oh wait, I am not an idiot. Yay.
So Brahms might be a bit late, but Brahms
that's okay. I'm trying to figure out exactly how many people have dropped. I guess
I think 2.
Yeah, that's what I
thought. I think we might be back to an even number.
Yeah, but that's what I thought. But I had.
We account 8 people in the booth right now. Evius isn't going to be in the booth. And I think someone else. I think Blahguy isn't in the booth either.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But I had. So we have walked drop, and then we have.
Yeah.
What?
Loading drop.
Oh yeah.
Loading drop.
I just noticed something in chat. Blahguy asked if there's only 3 rounds loading. I said yes. And then Blahguy corrected him. And I presume loading left.
You know, the question I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out if anybody else dropped because I. No, never mind. I don't know what happened. It fixed itself. Okay, well.
Never-ending professionalism here at the 10 point.
I again am trying to do a lot of things, and I'm managing everything by myself. And occasionally there's some stuff that goes away. I'm trying my best. Okay, I'm not a professional.
This is not a dig at Red Mage. It's just.
That is the only thing that could have been.
Like, it's not a dig at me as opposed to what? Right. What could it have been?
Let's see here. I get to play against a new person.
I get to play against Arakasi. Sick.
Alright, we're doing this.
Indeed we are, so we should be getting up Zoom, Wolfgang, and magikmike on the stream.
Yeah, this is the magikmike feature stream. Apparently.
Talk about a one-man stand.
Yeah, I mean, we've been having him on coverage every round to some degree. So that's pretty
sweating around, doing some spins on the pole. Woo. Awfully close. Wait, this isn't a reference to the movie. Shit.
It's fine. I catch. All right. So WolfgangCloud. I said watch game. Okay, great. I'm gonna just go directly to the match, and when figure out. Okay, so you stay there, and I am going to figure out exactly what's happening.
So yeah, we're gonna be having a finals here that I think is gonna be a bit, maybe not lopsided by any means. We're gonna be having Mono Red here against Jeskai Control, and I played my fair share of Mono Red. I can tell you that you do not want to be on the red side here. Jeskai Control is definitely one of the control decks that have a. I mean, don't get me wrong, Mono Red definitely good against control decks, and it's still gonna be good here.
Yeah, but this is probably
Control
the best control deck to face Mono Red with out of all the possible.
Yes, exactly. This is if you want to be playing control against aggro, you want to be on red-based control, especially white-red.
Do you think
like,
that?
Not half bad, but like, well, having access to both all the like a lot bunch of effective sweepers, having especially like cards like Lightning Helix, and apparently, as far as I heard, Voltage Helix as well, which is also surprisingly good against Mono Red. We are going to see a 1-drop into, presumably, I think, a Copter here, I expect. No, a Goblin Guide. Interesting. We might... Because I don't think you, as Wolfgang, want to be sacrificing your Wasteland here soon. Like, especially not to hit the fetch, of course, but like... You don't have the mana, you don't have the additional mountains, you can't play a 2-drop next turn if you crack it to hit a non-basic. So... You're probably just going to be looking to just keeping the Wasteland around for like mostly the match until you get to a point where you just are in top deck war. But like you're not going to end up in top deck war. Hopefully, when you have a Price of Progress in hand, unless of course your opponent's going to play heavily around it. Can't really say what Mike has in hand currently. Cam's getting up. We're going to see him fetch. Get the Triumph, that makes a lot of sense if you're not going to cast anything ahead of turn. It does get hit quite hard by Wasteland, but based on the way... Oh, we're going to see the instant Wasteland here. That's interesting. You're going to make a choice here by doing that. You're saying, I'm hoping to draw land, or I trust my opponent to not be able to do anything. Which makes sense, because they did go turn 1 pass with a fetch. Just got a tap land. And now they just play another tap land. So that's not a lot of action. You're still gonna be getting it free. Definitely depends on what you saw of the Goblin Guide there. If you saw them get a land, I'm not sure I like that play at all. We do see that magikmike does have lands and Warriors Helix, as I mentioned before, in hand. An Inferno Titan, which is likely gonna be too slow, and a pair of other red remove spells, which is likely gonna start coming down next turn. So yeah, I really don't like this Wasteland play until you magically draw the mountain, which just takes any sort of punishment you should have and negates it. Yeah, you probably just play.
Does this deck even have a mountain? Oh no, never mind. I thought. I'm sorry. I just thought.
No, nothing. That's fine. You have your right to speak.
No. I thought that you said that Jeskai had drawn a mountain. I'll be honest, I'm not watching the screen right now, so I was like, Jeskai. I'm not even sure Jeskai should play a mountain, but that's not.
Yeah, true. So we're just gonna see a possibly an activation from the Copter here. You might choose not to. I think that's incorrect. Especially because you have all you have right now, like your burn spells in hand. You have a lot of burn. Have like what? Currently you have 3, 5. Just Price of Progress, like you're quite a lot of burn. Yeah, you might as well tap your 1 damage creature to try and get the 3 damage in case they don't have the burn spell and they're trying to call up counter for something. They don't. But you still get in for like a couple damage, give them Marsh Flats in hand. Marsh Flats not that great right now. You don't want to be fetching up basic planes and taking 1 damage is awkward, so that's probably not going to come down for a while. We're just going to see the Stomp, just take him down a couple points. I'm surprised we didn't see the... I guess the one argument for playing the Stomp is that it's more efficient. In case you draw the mountain next turn and you want to play the Giant at one point. In that case, you don't lose as much damage if you just half cast it, because then this is a job you haven't gone for free. That said, we do see a lot of removals just coming from magikmike. We saw the Braid, we see the Lightning Bolt, the Steering Spear, and next turn as well, all these Helix gonna help him stabilize quite a lot here. That said, Price of Progress is gonna do a number in him. I imagine we might
Press of
see an
Process
attack
does that,
into
yes.
a giant. Did you say something?
Yeah. I mean, Press of Progress is wont to do a number of people. Like, so yeah,
Exactly. But like, even so, like currently is doing 4. We're gonna see another non-basic next turn in all likelihood. Maybe fetch 4 basic lanes. That might happen. But if they play the Caracas, that's still a 6 damage burn spell. They're going to. So this time we're gonna see a giant. Giant's probably gonna get hit by Warrior's Helix, so that's a net 2. So that puts them to 11 life. Yeah, so that's not default burn in hand currently. They can't play. Can they? Did they take damage this turn? I think you just want to play a giant here, honestly. Keep the burn. You can hit them for. If they kill the giant with the Helix, you can hit them for 6 points of burn. Next turn, Price of Progress, that should be lethal depending on what we see. That's the new Narset. She is a great way of getting life, but she's kind of awkward right now. You're pretty first gonna play her next turn. Right now, you want to get that giant off the board. You can play her minus a eat the giant at the other giant. I think that's what we're gonna see here instead. You could actually no, you plus her, gain some life, and then you play
and then you
lightning
bolt.
bolt.
Yeah, because she does also make a mana.
Yeah. I was just thinking
Granted,
granted,
this line loses to
life.
pop into skewer, but you know.
Notably, you can't play fetch next turn and play giant. You wouldn't actually want to either. But you're probably just gonna plus her next turn, play the Helix, get some tap fetch at some point. Because at this point, you're not playing around Price of Progress. Yeah, you go to free here. You take the free from the skewer. You're dead.
Yeah.
That shows the Price of Progress, how much just power it has, why it could point it. It is definitely the best card that Mono-Red has to play with.
Yeah, it's just it's
like even better than like playing an actual Mox. Not even kidding.
It's just like that. I feel like my favorite way of handling, and probably people in chat have already heard me say this, but it's just like it feels like there's a number of games in Mono-Red that basically get to a position where the game is completely impossible to win unless you draw Price of Progress, in which way you win the game on the spot. Like,
yes, exactly.
And you saw that there, but like, you know, it was like a single land, the single card dealing 8 points of damage, and taking the Jeskai deck from a position where they were relatively secure and they were gonna start gaining life and stabilizing the board to just dead.
They weren't actually that stable as it seemed like.
Well, I mean, the Narset was gonna if the Narset
they could definitely around, still lose the game from that board. Like they weren't in a horrible position by any means.
No, yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, like they weren't stable yet. But like the Narset was gonna start chugging along, getting some life, and that was gonna help put them in a position where they would put the game away relatively safely.
But yeah, 100%. Price of Progress is just really one of those cards that I have at times even. I did say this earlier, I think, actually, as a red aggro player. Actually, no, I don't think I said this on stream. As a red aggro player, you don't actually end up having, when you're like on the blind, that actually doesn't actually make too big a difference because the way you mulligan your hands is much more around how you play your game. Yes, sometimes you'll keep a hand because you see, oh, this is against a deck with a lot of like enhanced deck. I'll keep Price of Progress because that just destroys them. To be fair, you keep Price of Progress against most decks. But like sometimes there are definitely like cards you realize like, oh, I'm playing against another aggro deck. Maybe don't keep it hand with 2 free drops. But like as a rule of thumb, as a mono red deck, you just want to look at your own curve when you're mulliganing.
Yeah.
So like,
it's one of the few advantages I feel that Blue Moon has
you
about
get to focus on your own strategy and just ask others to deal with it.
It's one of the few advantages that Blue Moon has with respect to something like Jeskai in this matchup, but Jeskai is just so much better in like basically every other field, every other situation.
like Price of Progress is the only real non-basic you can really get. Like even like Wasteland, yeah, sometimes you're gonna have like Blue Red Moon just have island, mountain, but like
I mean, White
90% of the time they're still gonna have like a volcanic isle. Something from Wasteland, so you're always going to be able to like.
White gives you 2 things. White gives you both hyper efficient blockers and also effects like Lightning Helix, which are incredibly valuable because they basically automatically do for
mid range as well. You get some really efficient things, especially like if you I think it's actually these days. I think it might actually be often a good consideration. Not necessarily always correct. But if you're playing like even like blue-white X control, you might even consider playing Stoneforge Mystic in these type of decks. Play a Battle Skull and some usually actually just a Battle Skull.
I've seen that. So as my understanding is that Jet has been
definitely slow though, because if you're playing a mid-range like Jeskai deck, you play Stoneforge.
So my understanding is that Jet has been championing trying to play Battle Skulls and Stoneforge in specifically blue-white control. I have not seen it in Jeskai though.
What call? What call? Something call?
What call?
You said Stoneforge Mystic and something.
Battle
Skull?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's definitely good enough in blue-white. Like, I think Jeskai has better threats.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
you know, Jeskai. The thing is that Jeskai.
I'm not really sure you played that. You just play like Chandras.
Also, the other thing is that because Jeskai it tends to be like just a lot more mid-rangers, like as a whole, you have a lot more resources to play cards like Brimas, right?
Yeah,
like you're probably not playing in blue-white.
Just allows you to play aggro.
Yeah, like you're probably playing cards like Brimas, right? That you're probably not going to play in blue-white, even though they're white, which means that...
I don't think actually you play Brimas at all in these type of decks.
I've seen Brimas in Jeskai Control, not always. It depends on exactly what deck you're playing. The more, but if you're on a more mid-range
I don't think you want to be on it. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's a bad card in the deck. I just think double white is awkward at times as well. Not like horribly awkward.
Yeah, I think it's a meta hole. I've definitely seen it, and I think it's.
I think it's just not good enough matchups. It's great against the aggressive decks, and it just doesn't provide enough. I think those matchups. We are seeing like Skull Clamp just for all it's worth here. Like, yeah, sure they're still at 11, but like, and yeah, you can clique, but they have 6 points of burns, a creature and copter in hand. Yeah, they're gonna lose one of them now, probably. No, wait, no, they're gonna attack themselves, it looks like. Yeah, we're gonna see a Blinding Strike here in response, just the Grim Lava message. I don't see how magikmike even stands a chance here, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, this is rough. And like even if the game goes long, this clamp kind of makes it so that the kind of like I don't know what axis they have win this game on, right? Like the clamp kind of has the hard advantage battle.
Yeah, and you're just taking a ton of damage each turn.
Yeah,
already.
and they're not going to win a
burn
damage
in hand,
so...
but that's just gonna like hit you for like 6 next turn possibly. And like that's not even mentioning Green Lava Mancer, who's also gonna grind the game out.
Yeah.
Not gonna play the one drop here. I'm curious about that. Why they wouldn't play the one drop. So what can they have a negate? No, they have a remand and they have a fire as engrave to get with the torrential here. Which remand I think you just swing here, see what they do. Actually. Like you have literal leave. Yeah, I guess actually you know what, I like Pyromancer here. But I like it post combat more so. Because I think just swinging with your at least with your creature just says you have to deal with it, otherwise you're gonna die to any card I play basically. Playing it there does
they don't play the fat cast there, they activate their fumarole. Interesting.
That just makes sense. Yeah, they can negate the following card. Depending on what we see. Yeah, we do see a land though. That is actually gonna not shock this game up quite. Never mind, I forgot they were free. I could see it actually Grim Lava Mancer activation on, let's see here. Does it make sense? No, you just go phase here. I did consider killing the fumarole here, but I don't think it's worth it because I already have one card in hand. So you'd probably just set them at 1 immediately. Don't even give them the chance to like draw something to answer.
Yeah, I mean,
like you have an active land, that kills him. You have a burn spell in hand. The clamp can still kill. Like, yeah.
Congratulations to Wolfgang that went undefeated today.
Yeah, bringing home the bacon once again with mono red. Like,
yeah,
that deck people just keep. I think week upon week, just being underprepared and playing greedy decks.
I mean, I think at this, you know what? Let's watch this Necro matchup since he's
I
on
was
the
super
spice.
prepared.
Oh yeah,
Like-
you're fairly prepared. I agree.
Like it feels like the.
I will say, Jeskai Control is definitely not like. I still think that's not a favorite matchup for you. I think you want to be
Yeah.
playing mid range if you want to be favored.
So
Then you're really favored, though. You
Jer
destroy.
says that the matchup is slightly in favor of Jeskai Control, depending on the build. But
I think it's about 50-50.
yeah, it's probably.
I just personally can't play
Jeskai's a
mid-range
deck that doesn't
unless it's
have
pod.
extreme matchups against anything, right? Like Jeskai is the type of deck that has like, you know, is either 55-45 or 45-55 against basically everything.
Yeah, just kind of mid range though does destroy Aggro quite hard. I don't even think that's more than a 30-70.
Yeah, that always used to destroy me when we did these Sundays.
I'm very happy that people just don't play just kind of mid range anymore. I'm not gonna complain.
I'm not either.
TBH, I'm not on mono red all the time anymore, so that does help. But even then, just kind of mid range is good against, once again, as you said, like most of the field. There are a few decks that it's got like slightly bad against, matchup against. But even those are probably like 50-40. Oh, sorry, like 60-40 at worst. And that's maybe like very specific decks and builds. I'll admit I haven't played enough with that deck to say which decks that may be, but like, yeah.
As long as you gear it up so that way you can cast Ancestral Recall more times than you have fingers on one hand.
Necro deck here, like, yeah, sure they can counter everything, but it turns out there's a certain, even when you're playing like a budget counter deck, there's a certain amount of cards you can counter, especially when your opponent has more mana and cards. They have what? It's. Can we see how many cards they have in hand? 2 for Necro, and I can't see how much
on it.
card knock Darrel has, I think.
I'm on it. They have infinite. I believe about 78. Full grip of 7.
Oh, no, library in hand.
Recurring Nightmare and Thragtusk seems like a bad time for anyone.
Sure does. Actually, just Recurring Nightmare and literally creatures that have any sort of relevancy. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of cards on hand. Yeah. Like, this is a problem for, like, Necro, besides just the fact that she's on a budget deck, which...
Yeah, with the Finks in the bin, I think they have way too much going on.
Absolutely, like... I don't even believe Insidious can actually counter anything, but what is it can counter? Is it anything? Counter target spell? Yeah, it doesn't allow you to counter anything. But I think we're just gonna see, like, counter the spell, play the like, you can play just about anything at this point.
Yeah,
I wonder if she'd done anything spicy, like redirect Ancestral with that.
Just gonna pass here, just like, this is the same thing we actually mentioned when Darrel was up against I think it was literally who was it again? Was some control? Was it against magikmike or was it against Eevee? Who were they against?
It was against me.
It was against you. Like, we mentioned actually multiple times, the reason, especially the low man mentioned it. I just agreed with him mostly. Let's be honest. That the reason that he lost the game is the way he just timed the spells. Like, he just kept leaving mana up. That meant he could never play 2 spells at one point. And like, if you're just gonna be like you have like all these sweet cards in hand. Like, why just not play a Scavenging Ooze and just go have a removal, have an answer, have a counterspell? Like, what are you afraid of?
He also never used the Volrath Stronghold. Like, he could have kept killing my blockers to hit that Jace if he would have just kept recurring that Bone Shredder.
Like, kill them. Don't just be like, oh, I'm gonna be cute. Just make sure you never count off spells, because I'm never casting them. But why do you have the spells in your deck then? Cast that Acidic Ooze. Maybe not the Ooze, that's probably fine. But like, play the library? Nightmare? Something? Like, you're not gonna lose if they counter your Nightmare.
Yeah, like, the thing is, if you can Nightmare, just back Thragtusk, kill Wall of Omens, you're just so far ahead.
Like, this Midnight Clock might actually, I don't think it's gonna bring Necro back to the same game. Like they might if they find a bounce sweeper. I think the problem with Necro is that even if they somehow like temporarily stabilize, they don't really have a way with their type of deck to continually keep that going.
I think the biggest problem,
Unless someone is just like, let's play one card at a turn, then they might. Like, doesn't really matter. We're gonna see an acidic slime. Just kill it, and then probably, I don't know, eat some cards with Scoos, or just try and kill someone. Like, just get in. Play some cards. Like, if we'd seen, like, they didn't really know, but, like, if we saw, like, Recurring Nightmare last turn, that could just have been lethal now.
yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, they have a stern dismissal, but then they have to play the last card doing not
Like,
much.
even if the last card is a counter spell, like, what are...
Yeah, you have
like,
so many cards in hand, like, you're not running out of cards.
not even
Yeah, like
cards
if
in
she
hand.
just runs her hand dry, you've still got board presence. Even
Yeah,
though that's
yeah,
not a lot.
The thing is, I'm putting in the position that as a mono blue control deck, you don't have a lot of things to like catch you up on board.
Yep.
So for what we see going on right now, we're at a position where I don't even think Necro has a card in her deck to actually get back into this.
I'm sure you play the bounce things.
Spells, but like,
I'm sure she played the
Is she
bounce
playing?
thing. I'm sure she plays
playing
the
Rise
well,
from the
that is,
Shores?
like,
I'm sure she plays mass bounce, right? Like the thing where
I'm
in
going to be
Gold
completely
or
honest.
something.
If I remember correctly, let me just take something.
There's like a
I'm gonna
Gulf
be
to Shore,
honest,
Cyclonic Rift
once again,
evacuation.
Darrel, if you're hearing this on commentary, we're talking later. I just think you're playing way too slow, honestly. Like, you're not putting out your cards. Like, yeah, there's definitely times where you should be keeping your cards back to play around counters and such. But it's also just times where you have to be like, here's this card, deal with it. Here's this card, deal with it.
Yeah.
You just gotta kill him.
Exactly. Like, this is what we mentioned, like, just playing effectively. Like, one of the biggest problems with, like, a counterspell is that you're not doing anything on your turn. Yeah, sure. But that doesn't matter if you don't have a board state.
Like, the
Like,
thing
it's
is, the
great just having
flickering...
them doing nothing.
the flickering of the slime is very interesting because that actually put them off lethal for this turn.
He's also I don't think he's been using the exiling instant spells, but the Death Threat Shaman. Otherwise, he should be like Nig.
He did it like once, I think.
He's done it twice or 3 times since we started because Necro was at 11.
Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't matter too much, right? At this point, Darrel
like
can
this point,
like
yeah, the game is definitely over.
Yeah, like
what are they getting back? Yeah, comic.
Yeah, he's just
like,
playing with his food at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think that the only way that Darrel loses this game if he somehow accidentally clicks a concede button. Like, I don't think.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like Necro has some like random ass combo that can just win the game out of nowhere.
Yeah, we saw.
Like, they're not trying to stall for that.
We saw back in the day. We saw Sir Ripmouth has been like a mono blue control player for the longest time, and the solution that he came to in terms of like shoring up this matchup where you're like behind on board and need to try and make it so that you actually win the game is that he tried to play polymorph combo with results. You know, some didn't solve everything, but that's an interesting take, right? Where they're like, oh, well, I mean, sometimes I'm just gonna drop an Emerald on the table, and they're gonna take it from there.
Was he just expecting to like use it on a Mistress Factory or something?
Yeah, but it shall absolutely 100% be mentioned that once again, Necropotence is playing a budget deck, which is made for literally another format.
Yeah, I mean...
and she just doesn't. Like, she's not here to be a spike too either. She's just kind of
no, absolutely not. She's here for the laughs, for the good times, and for the counter spells. Mostly the counter spells.
Let's face it, it's mostly the counter spell.
So this is game 2.
Only counter spell. Only counter spell. Counter spell. Counter spell. Only counter spell. Forget the other creatures and sorceries and such. Only counter spells.
Oh.
Do.
Oh.
That is a very heavy reference for anyone who got that one. Very fucking obvious reference. Like, look at the Civil Library. It just says you win the game if it doesn't get countered, which I guess they can Winds of Rebuke it, which they probably have to.
Unless they get really greedy with it and then find out you have Psy Blast in.
They
Negate every turn, and then all of a sudden,
like how do you beat Sylvan Library? Countering the cards? Well, they have more cards than you suddenly.
I do have a question though. On
Why,
the Sylvan Library in this matchup, how greedy do you get?
Marco? The hand cam's upside down.
I'm aware. I
think
What is going on with this hand cam?
I think the only time you do not get greedy
I'm
is
trying
this
to
card you
crop
just know
the
if I
that
medium
I'm
limit,
excited.
and then you have effect or something.
or like if you're gonna wind up having to discard a hand size anyway. There's not really
Yeah,
any
or
reason
it's
to.
not time, but you're like, well, I'm just discarding this card. I'm getting it. Like, yeah, if you have irrelevant cards, yeah, sure, don't draw it. But like, if you're like, I'm a 2-cousin hand. These cards are great. Fuck it, take 8.
Especially
'cause
since
what-
like you can only like negate so many times, and like if you're just doing it for cards, and then you wind up seeing something on top that you need, and then you
Like,
can't pay the life for it.
If you want like this Death right here and some 2-drop.
To be fair, against Mono Blue, you can
But again, I can
negate
also see just playing the
the
light.
most
That's
times.
horrible.
Yeah. Oh,
If
they're
you're
playing.
striking that,
They're playing. Hey, you guys in this deck.
Hey, you guys!
Manga?
I think he's talking
Oh, no,
about
that was Sloth.
Worm.
Worm, yeah, Massacre Worm.
getting a Tundra.
There is a rallier on the other side there.
I'm
so.
surprised that we're not seeing a green source coming here, like based on like what we saw on his other deck and such. It did seem like they had a lot of green creatures. Like black mana, not really needed. You have a book. I get blue. Like I guess you can't get both green and blue. You can't get like tropical here.
Yeah.
I do love how Necro is playing a double meme deck. She's playing a meme deck in a format that is already not as powerful as Canlander.
Yep. What? Yeah, yeah.
Nice, Marco, nice.
What are you trying?
That's great.
What is your point again?
No, look at the stream.
I have seen the screen, and I'm not seeing the point.
It's a loading ready joke that like it seems like Massa had won because it has like it looks like kind of like a human mouth as this thing. So she's showing up and like, "Hey, you guys!"
Have you never seen the Goonies?
No. The Goose is a
Oh.
big thing in Denmark.
All right.
Well,
So no, I have not.
That explains it.
It is kind of funny here that like Hostage Taker is just being played out as a threat. 4 mana 2/3. Sometimes you just gotta get in there.
Why are you exiling your own graveyard? What?
For mana? What mana? Oh, just to
Oh,
recast.
casting the
the
Death
Turi
Right.
has the death.
Yeah. And even more importantly, why are you passing the death right?
Oh, the Hostage Taker does take the.
Yeah.
God, it took the artifacts.
Creature's an artifact, and that sure is an artifact.
Now I just want to run that and take people's moxes.
You can do that.
That is why that card
We
is.
also will do that at some point. That's basically just like, what if we took Wasteland, made it better?
Is
Sometimes.
Recruit 2 CMC?
So you know what I've done?
Renegade Rallier 2 CMC or 3 CMC?
It's 3.
2 CMC lower, yeah.
It's 2 CMC but hits lands.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm actually a bit surprised that we didn't like on the
Oh, I
turn
thought you were talking about the
3
card itself.
didn't see fetch and then play the
So
rallier, because I figured that
slight
might
aside
be,
with
you didn't play around councils
stealing
doing
a-
that, but like
Yeah.
slightest.
we could just see like sacking the. I could see like sacking the Death Right Shaman here to like the tutor, and then playing Renegade Rallier. That's cute.
Yes. So slight aside to stealing cards. The worst thing that's ever happened to me is someone Archmage's charmed my Merit Lage and then proceeded to kill me with it.
I haven't heard that story before. Recently.
That has happened. It was real not good. someone was like testing it out in Sorensen, and they were just like, "Oh, I just take your merit lage and murder you with it." I'm like, "Okay, oh cool."
Archmage's Charm is silly. It's really good.
I'm trying to think if there's like anything you can just get with a tutor.
The
game immediately right.
The tiny version of that story that happened to me was that I took Wuyan Ling's bird and murdered Hare with it. So you know.
Why are you playing the colorless sources? Like you want why are you not trying the color lands? You want the color lands? You have fucking 11 health. Like what are you doing with Stronghold? I guess it's Black Land, but like. Eh.
I wonder if he like actively remembers what it does, because the entire game against me, if he would have remembered about the Volrath Stronghold, he would have had me dead to rights, but he didn't.
Why are you not casting spells? Why are you scared of like getting countered? Why are people so averse to that? Like why?
I think that if he does this, I think this is correct play, but he might try to put Revelark on top.
But like why?
Because you can Eldon's Call as well.
Yeah.
So you can call plus Lark.
Oh wow, I had not updated the graphics. I am sorry.
You could get like a creature that prevents your stuff from being countered. What's that new one from Theros Beyond Death?
I will say
that's the one that's creatures and enchantments. I can't remember its name though. I know I hate it.
Destiny Spinner.
Yeah, Destiny Spinner.
Yep, I hate that card.
Oh, I don't hate it.
Also, it's the game against
now we have a
me where you
like fair enough. But like you have 11 health. Are you scared of getting Sonic blasted? Is that what you're fearing?
Psionic Blast
would
premium burn spell for all Seinfeld decks.
To be fair, Psionic Blast has to be in the deck, right? Unless it's not Penny League.
Yeah. I have to check. I don't even know. I know that's Chars, and because I'm playing that in mono red. I have no clue for Sonic Blast is. Let's see. Can I get a guess? Is it Penny Dreadful legal?
I would say yes.
It is not.
Yeah, it is pretty old, and it's only been reprinted with like one of those time shift cards.
It was time shifted, yeah.
It's also a promo.
Oh.
But it's 25, 0.25 ticks.
I just want to see Darrel just get sent to the Shadow Realm by desertion somehow. I just want to see that happen.
It on Massacre Worm would be pretty...
Yeah, that might do it. Like if they have too many small creatures, that might do it. Or just because it's a fucking 6/5.
Yeah, like your Deathrite dies, you take 2, you go to 9, and then
this
you're
is one
facing
thing.
6/5.
Isn't it just opponents that have their creatures die lose 2 life?
Yeah.
From Massacre
Yeah.
Worm?
Nope. Isn't it all creatures?
No. I think it's just opponents' creatures.
Oh.
Because it only gives -2/-2 to opponents' creatures.
Like, yeah, you can win just Death Riding every turn, but you're not going to win Death Riding every turn.
It's not going to make for good television.
Actually, that's not correct. That's actually correct. You're still going to win Death Riding every turn.
Well, this is game 2.
Actually, no, you're not going to win Death Riding every turn because you have 6.5 minutes left.
Yeah, they won game 1. So they just have to win this one in 6 minutes. If they don't win this one in 6 minutes, they're definitely going to lose the match.
No, they can start a new.
Oh yeah, start a new one.
Yeah, they can start a new game.
Yeah, that's taken a long time for
the whole match by timing.
No.
Okay.
We have been playing that. If somebody finds out, that's the.
I just don't remember what specifically the rule was.
Yeah. I should have all of this stuff in the document. I think it's been coming up like the last couple of weeks. They should just have this policy.
They're activating Midnight Cloak.
I do have a question about just like the philosophy of that. I'm not doubting its intentions. It seems like the Sunday one is supposed to be the more like the less casual between Sunday and Saturday. But Saturday is timed and Sunday is not.
So I mean, my reasoning with that, and this is just something that I don't necessarily see eye to eye with Alex about this, is that just that like if it's not. as long as we don't have a problem of matches just taking forever to finish, which we had one last week, which was a little regrettable. But in general, it's not been an overarching week-to-week problem. I would rather not see match. I would rather see match decided by game actions rather than the clock. If it becomes a problem,
of like proactive or reactive policy making.
Yeah, that makes sense. And with some of the technical difficulties that can come up, like you don't want people saying like, "Oh, I can't set up a hand cam because it's going to eat a minute off my clock." Or something
yeah. That's the other thing, right? Like that's the other big thing where like I don't want the fact that I'm gonna waste 1 minute off of my clock to set up the hand cam. So like now the Fisher matches have a disadvantage towards the other matches because now they can run to time. Like I don't want all of that wasp nest to be a thing. So I think it's just better to remove the clock from the picture as much as possible. It's kind of a concession. It's kind of a concession to the fact that we are going we're a show on top of a tournament. So like...
the match. I think a bit of the irony here on the match when it comes to the match is actually the fact that losing like the clock tower just activating there actually puts I think Necro in a worse position. Because that desertion, I think, is the best way they could win the game, realistically speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not worried about winning the game, right?
I could
I can imagine like if they cast a Lightning Tutor or like Diabolic Tutor, I think Necro just has to like see if they can get something sweet of Twin Cast.
It's very interesting that Midnight Clock not being symmetrical is actually worse in that scenario.
Yeah.
No, because your opponent had been had a full grip and had been sculpted their hand for like the whole game, so you wouldn't mind giving them a new 7. It was like basically hard neutral and
that, and they're also on a graveyard-based deck, so if they had like Recurring Nightmare in hand, just stealing away all their targets is not half bad.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest. I think the only chance Negro actually has in winning here is timing out card lock. So they just don't realistically have any win cons that I can think of. That's just...
Yeah, what is her win con?
I know she has Pixis Pandemonium, and that's about it. And I don't know what else.
Desertion, I guess. We did see that.
Technically, yes, that is a win con in some cases. I don't have the list actually. I can see if I can find it if she put it up somewhere.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that the players knew about how our clock policy worked.
What is
turnabout to
untap your land?
No, tap the opponent. It was basically a silence.
Yeah. Okay.
Like this is what I'm saying. Like you just like sap like a couple of creatures down. They can cast what? Like look at the situation. They can cast. Well, yeah, sure. They technically you tapped out this turn, so you can't do it this turn. But like, how many cards are they gonna cast?
But like the other thing is that Necro is somehow losing the card advantage battle with the mono blue deck against their opponent with no board, and they don't. Like that just seems. Like how is it that you're playing mono blue and your opponent is constantly out
in the way of card draw and card selection? And just
to be fair, a lot of their good like card advantage cards are ones like Mystic Confluence, Cryptic Command, Ancestral, like cards that are pricey.
I will point out that things like Fact of Fiction are legal, like even fucking Reign of Revelation. There's still like fairly fine cards that can do things like that. I think it's just the way Necro's built her deck.
Yeah, if it doesn't have counter on it, she probably ain't playing it.
Yes. Necro, I'm gonna be honest, doesn't have the most, like you said, it's not a very competitive build deck, even by a budget deck, like a Penny Dreadful deck standard is not very competitive. I think even she'll admit that. But like, there's definitely problems with the deck building. Like Twin Cards is awkward. Like just like not even having like any like cards that allow you to like dig or just win the game efficiently. Like, play something like, no joke, Tempest Djinn. Tempest Djinn is legal. Play Tempest Djinn. You can just slam that on, like, turn 8 when you have, like, 6 lands in play and just total counterspell for the rest of the game. Like, that'll win the game.
With Leovold on the battlefield, looking at her hand, I don't know if Necro has a real.
Yeah, that's an awkward card you got there. The one that you can kick it to draw extra cards.
Yeah, and only counters
Ooh.
2.
And
And there's an Oko.
Yep, that they can't really count either. Because like that's awkward.
I guess you could twin cast the spell shrivel.
Yeah, I think that's possible. No, they're gonna no. Apparently not. They're gonna dig. I think. Yeah. I don't know what is spell contortion. How much do they have to pay for that one?
4.
2.
Yeah, I think it was 2.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Spell
the spell
shrivel's
shrivel's 4.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, spell shrivel.
I have never seen this card before.
This Oko is going to resolve.
You've never seen Oko before. Well, that's new.
No. Spell contortion. I've seen Oko.
It's a wild one.
Why didn't they pay for the spell shrivel?
Maybe they
no clue. You can't even like make the argument. I'm just gonna get ready at back. Like, no, you can't.
Yeah, spell shrivel exiles. Maybe
I guess Deathrite does put them.
I'm gonna be honest here. I'm gonna be honest here. I actually like that choice to not resolve the Oko. Prioritizing Renegade Reddit because that just kills more quickly. Like Oko takes 2 turns to even put a creature, put a free to play. That's just a free 2 and a 1/2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they are still dead. Necropotence.
Yeah, like no, they can get a bounce spell here, but like if you're getting a bounce spell at this point, you're dead. Or turnabout, I guess. It's just about the same.
And then the problem with the turnabout is that he has to tap the creatures. He's still got the lands to play with.
So currently they're basically at 1 because they can move to no.
They can use the Deathrite Shaman, play the Massacre Worm, kill the Archaeomancer, put them to 1.
From Cardnock's point of view, from Darrel's point of view.
Yeah. Is there anything they can Enlighten Tutor for here that is lethal?
Doubtful.
Not unless he's playing like Kaya's Oath of Kaya. Oath of Kaya.
But it feels like you would rather have that effect be on creatures, right? Because then you can actually.
Yeah, I imagine we're gonna
if
see.
you want to have a permanent based removal spell, just so much better to have like a troops, because then you can like her Nightmare do all that stuff.
Yeah, especially since it seems like for his is mostly like creature reanimation, creature blink, not like permanent blink.
I'm trying to see if there's a way they can find lethal here. No, doesn't seem to be. But I don't know if Necro. Yeah, Necro is just dead on board.
Yep.
Play the island as much as they want.
No return.
Why?
Fire has been averted.
I think that's gonna be game.
Yep.
So I believe we have 1 game left.
Nope, I think that was it.
No, that was the 4th.
Healthy EVOs. Oh yeah, the feature mesh just didn't.
Yeah, they didn't report because it was the feature, which is fine. We know what they did. We watched it. All right, so let me bring us back to the booth for the final match. And I apologize that I didn't have the Discord cam this week. We had a bunch of stuff happening, and I didn't have time to set it up. Okay, so I want to congratulate Wolfgang for another convincing performance at the whole event, another 4-0. We are kind of there's the Wolfgang and Blahguy are kind of like trying to race for kind of making a race for the end of the season. We have Blahguy only going 2-2 this only going 2-2 this week. Actually, I lied. The Blahguy is only in 4th position. I forgot about that. We have but WolfgangCloud is extending his lead over the 2nd position player Brahms and the third position player Arakasi, which are very close to each other. In fact, Brahms has only had a 1 point lead going into this event. You know what? Let me just do this. How about we do this? Here, let me just put the rankings up until this week on screen. No, that doesn't make it. Yeah, it's fine. We'll do it anyway. Oh my god. There you go. So these were the rankings before this week.
We can't see people's names. There we go.
Also, the one on the Discord looks. Oh, that's different. Yeah, never mind. I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah.
So these were the rankings before this week. As you can see, we have basically the way that this is shaking is that we have Wolfgang with a pretty commanding position, but both Brahms and Arakasi can catch up if they do well in the last 3 weeks of the season. We have a very tight race for second with Brahms and Arakasi both like vying for position number 2, and we have a very tight race for fourth with Blahguy and Devious at both very close to each other, and then people like Einstein and Necro who are a little bit farther behind, but again they can catch up to the race pretty easily. Now, what happens when I punch in the results for this week? And maybe I don't just show everybody's deck on screen because we don't usually do that. Okay, so we have WolfgangCloud going 4-0 as usual because he's a monster. Blahguy went 2-2, I believe. What about Arakasi?
Wolfgang, you have to go back to Red Deck Recall so that someone has a chance to beat you.
Arakasi went 3-1.
No. I just gotta watch the world burn.
You're doing that quite well.
Yeah, I am.
Evius and Luhas also went 3-1.
I had my worst showing yet. My only win was the bye.
So you went 1-3. Okay, that's good. That's important information. Walked. Okay, so we have Walked went 0 and 4 because they disappeared after round 1 for whatever reason. Yeah, still don't know what happened there.
That's fine. They got kidnapped.
It's not impossible. I hope that they didn't. It would be rude. How about magikmike?
That was 2-2.
How about loading? Loading went
he
1
disappeared.
and 3. It's fine. How about Darrel? 2-2. And Brahms. That's the other one that's important for these rankings that we are seeing. This 2-2. Okay, so now we drag these things down. And wow, oh. I think the results from last week also might have not been in actually. I think I might have made a reporting mistake. But with that in mind, that maybe we were missing a week altogether. This is what we're looking at in terms of final results. By which I mean, give me a second. I need to reorder these. Sort range. Because we did actually have a couple of upsets. So yeah, so we have Arakasi and Brahms continue their close rankings, with Arakasi actually gaining a small points lead, and Evios and Blahguy remain 1 point separate. Einstein plays the fact that he hasn't been showing up in recent week, with Luca and Necro both gaining on his position, but it's gonna be tough for either of them to reach the point necessary to get to Blahguy. It's gonna be an exciting end of the season. We're gonna see which of these people make the top 4. We have had a little bit of trouble firing the Saturday events in the last couple weeks. So I would like to make a call for everybody to go sign up for Saturday events as well. Balex is doing a very good job running them, and I don't want to figure out what happens if at the end of the season we have run for 12 weeks and the Saturday events has run for like 6, and we can't because they haven't been able to fire, and then we have to figure out what to do with that. So don't make me, just make sure that they fire.
Also, the less people in that tournament, the more chance you have of getting top 8 in that, or top 4 in that tournament.
I mean, you're not wrong. If you want to top 4 and get to the finals that way, that is a way of doing so. I want to remind.
Riot sacrifice.
What?
Don't know what just happened.
Yeah, I am very confused right now.
Got a little metal on us.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Why do you have a tab on your thing that's just called questionable?
What? Questionable content is a website I follow. It's a webcomic I follow. And there's a webcomic called Questionable Content.
I was going to say, a website named Questionable Content seems like a bit of a problem.
I meant a webcomic. Shut up.
I'm familiar with it as I have. Oh no, that's not Questionable Content. I was thinking of another one.
Okay. Either way.
You had a comic, whatever.
I want to remind everyone that we are. Okay, I want to remind everyone that we mostly run these tournaments. If you want to sign up for this tournament, we mostly run them from the Canadian and Highlander Discord. If you like exclamation point Discord in chat, you can get a link to the Discord, and that's going to get you to a place that A is just full of very awesome human beings that can sign up, and B is just a good place to. It's just both a good place to both start with the format as a whole. And with the tournaments, if you're interested in signing up for those. If you just want the links for the next event, you can type exclamation point next poll. There are polls. There are surveys. Sign up sheets at these Google forms you can just fill, and that will sign you up for next event. You can also just bookmark this page on our website, endpoint.weebly.com, and that just gets you, will be kept updated with all of the results that we needed, with the current links to the sign up sheets. Holy smokes, I cannot talk. I want to thank all of our players, everybody that sign up for this event, everybody that helped with commentary, and everybody that watched this stream. If you're watching this stream, remember, we are brought to you, among other things, by your generous contribution via Twitch subs. So if you want to consider throwing us a sub, that helps. That's definitely something that helps us keeping the boat afloat, and making sure that things keep working, and we can do things like offer prize support at the end of the season, things like that. Also, I would like to say that maybe that ends up making sure that we have less technical difficulties, but we'll see how that goes.
We can't fix Google.
I don't know exactly.
We don't have the budget for that one.
I don't know what the issue with Streamlabs was today. It just decided to not capture my screen anymore, and I'm very confused. Either way, why don't we go show engineering some love.
But Surge is playing Skyrim.
I would like to go raid engineering as soon as we are done here. So let's do that. Thanks everybody for watching and for participating, and we will talk to you all next week. Bye.
Marco, where's my cameo?